All right, guys, welcome back to HearthBreakers, the podcast where hearts are broken, cards are played. On today's episode, we're going to take a look at the remaining cards that we didn't manage to review on our last podcast. Initially, on our last podcast, we planned to go through all of the cards, but we found out that might be a bit optimistic, as we had already gone 4 hours and there are still 50 plus cards missing. So we split up into 2 podcasts, and the rest are coming now. So yeah, we're just gonna start off where we stopped at the rogue class cards. Are you guys ready?
Always ready.
Yeah.
Right. So the first card is Bladed Cultist. It's a 1-mana 1/2 combo, gain +1/+1. What do you think about this card?
Unless there's a super aggressive rogue deck, I don't see the point. But I can understand if something like the old backspace rogue, where you just empty your hand on turn 3 or something, their Bladed Cultist could be pretty good, because you're basically on turn 3 dropping 3 1-drops. But in the average situation, like, it's not good on turn 1, and on turn 2, what are you going to do? Play another 1-drop that you didn't play on turn 1. So in hyper-aggressive decks, but I'm not sure we're going to see so many hyper-aggressive decks with Lebanon nerfed and GVG rotating out. So yeah.
Yeah, I can see that, definitely. Yeah, Tinker's also rotating out. Also probably kills a lot of the aggression.
Yeah.
So, Hilda, any thoughts?
I don't. Yeah, I must admit I don't really see the. Yeah, I don't see this fitting really, like into a deck, because I mean it's ridiculous if you can like coin 2 of those on turn 1, right?
That's insane.
That's insane, right?
That's the
but
best.
It seems like then we just like, okay, a two card, you need both cards, right? And it's a bit like
You just play a 1-drop and coin the other.
I mean, I think it's actually quite okay if you're playing like a hyper aggressive deck, because you will often like be able to get the combo off on 2 even just with another 1-drop in this. Mm-hmm. And then it's actually quite okay value, but yeah, it seems so lackluster if you can't have the combo effect activate available really early in the game. So yeah.
Yeah, but the thing I like the most about this card is that you can always just drop it to fill out your curve if you're playing like an aggressive deck, as you've been talking about. Like even on turn 2, if you have another 1-drop, on turn 3 if you have a 2-drop and this card,
2+1.
Yeah. Or even turn 4, like 3+1. It's pretty good.
And it is cheap to activate your like. Often, if say you have an SI, you'd probably rather have the SI effect than this effect. So you could just drop this. Like it's so cheap that it is a relatively easy setup for your other combo pieces. But again, I think a lot of other combo effects are more impactful. SI for instance.
Yeah.
Okay, something wrong with window capture all of a sudden.
Yeah, it went black on the stream.
It works now. Right, I think we should just move on.
Yeah.
Yep. To Shadow Strike. 3 mana, rogue spell. Deal 5 damage to an undamaged character. I actually think this is quite okay, especially if you're playing like a control deck. It's sort of like Flame Cannon, right? But it hits your own minions as well. But most of the time, if you're playing like a control-ish deck, like you won't.
It's targeted, right?
What?
It's targeted, right?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. Fuck. Yeah. I thought it was actually random.
This card is actually pretty good. It is worth noting that you can hit face if your opponent is undamaged. But that usually doesn't matter. The good thing about this is that it's one of the first, like we have lava burst or whatever, but it's one of the only spells that deals 5 damage. And 5 damage we have talked about a lot.
It's insane.
It's the sweet spot. I don't know with the new expansion if there's too many minions with 6 health. I can't really remember, but
there's a few.
usually 5 health is sweet spot. So you don't need 6 damage like Fireball.
But even 6 damage is quite easy with Rogue. Like you just hero powered.
Yeah, that's true. I guess that's the problem because you have Dagger and Eviscerate. So why should you play Shadow Strike? But like the clean kill on a Yeti, which is not gonna see play.
Well, yeah, stuff like that with 5 health.
Belcher and Lothar, the cards that are rotating
the
out.
cards that are not around anymore. but odds are there will be similar cards.
Yeah. But I'm actually unsure if that is good enough.
I think
like 3 mana is a lot.
The card itself is quite good, but if it will be played, I'm not that sure. Depends on the rogue decks they're gonna be, I think.
Yeah. The problem for me is that you cannot finish with it. Like, if it was 5 damage to an undamaged minion and 5 damage to whatever face, that's pretty good. But it's not a finisher, so it's not like a Fireball, which is, hey, you can use it as a finisher, but you can use it as removal, but usually it's also the top deck win card.
Well, Fireball has always been OP, we must admit, compared to all other damage spells, right?
I know, but it was Mage for a while.
Yeah.
I think this could maybe fit into like control, more control-oriented rogues trying to live. I think control rogues will have an issue in the fact that they don't really have any useful AoE. I don't think there has been any new, but I mean this card is like quite a good value play. Just fine removal. If you just want to live till the later turns of the game, but I don't think you'll see it in more aggressive decks because you can't finish with it, right?
I think the most annoying thing about this card is that it's a 3 mana card, and Rogue already has a lot of 3 mana cards, kind of like Shaman and in that regard.
Yeah, but you don't like in regular oil Rogue. What do you play? You play
SI Agent. You play Fans.
SI Fan and 1 Van Cleave maybe, so it's like 5. Are there more?
Yeah, but but you also have Deadly Poison. Like that's sort of like a turn 3 play as well.
You can. Yeah, I guess you can consider that a 3-drop kind of. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, probably I'd cut Van Cleave in the deck that I'm trying to describe, right, with a slower deck. Because you wouldn't have as many low-cost cards to set up for the combo. But, yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe there's too many. And I don't think it's more valuable than, say, SI. Because SI is ridiculous.
Yeah. I think... I still think Eviscerate is better. Still think SI is better. Like there's Rogue already has a lot of removal. Like the card, if it was in Warrior or it was in like whatever control class, it would be insane. But in Rogue, I'm not that sure that it's going to be insane. But
no, maybe a one-off in a mid-range Cthulhu something.
Yeah. Right.
But Cthulhu Rogue is... I feel with the few lists we've tried to make, it seems quite evident that it is a late game deck because of the 9-drop, right? It's like the 1 power Rogue Cthulhu card.
Yeah.
Or like the one that stands out as why you would play it in Rogue and not in any of the other classes.
Yeah. Alright, let's move on, I think. We talked about this card enough. So... Now we have
gotta go in this, man.
South Sea Squidface. So it's an octopus, and it's a 4 mana 4/4. Therefore, I'll give you a weapon +2 attack. Pirates. Well, the card itself seems pretty
I think
good.
it's bad.
Give your weapon +2 attack.
Yeah, that's pretty nice if it was a battle cry or something. But I just remember from GVG we had the 2-drop that made your weapon better. And that just didn't work either. Like you play this, then your opponent has the option to set up a board where the buffed weapon is not as good. And you have to have a weapon equipped when the death rattle triggers. It's just iffy.
But I don't know. It's also a pirate synergy card, and I feel like you need those.
But Pirate Rogue doesn't work at all. Like not even close.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah,
but I guess there's a new neutral pirate, but that doesn't really work too well in Rogue either.
That's the 2/5, right?
Yeah.
That reduces the cost of your weapons. No, I don't really. I don't really see Pirate Rogue being a thing, and then it's like pretty irrelevant. Well, this card would need to be absolutely insane to be able to create a new deck. A bit like say Raptor was in the Grand Tournament or League of Explorers.
You can Raptor this? Woo!
Yeah, you could, I guess. But I mean, there has been a few cards that were so insane that they single-handedly made new decks, right? Raptor and Mysterious Challenger. But this card is just like it's like okay, mediocre, and that's not good enough, and it's certainly not good enough to make a whole new deck around it. So.
Yeah, but.
I mean, if you want to play,
if you
Pirate
want
Rogue,
to play
you'd
Pirate
play
Rogue,
it.
yeah, exactly.
You'd play it. You would.
That's my point.
Yeah,
like,
you would.
I think, I agree. So far, if you look at the cards, I think Warrior is the better pirate deck overall. Yeah. But if you want to play Pirate Rogue, I think you're gonna play this card, and it's going to be okay. Like
it's gonna be okay, but
I think it's gonna be garbage.
I think
because the entire deck is garbage, but like if you compare it to the rest of the deck. So.
Yeah, true.
The thing, I mean, the 3-drop from Warrior is just so much better because it gives +1/+1 and not +2 to attack, so you get another charge in your weapon, which is better in most cases.
And it's a battle cry, and it has unpassed.
And it's battle cry and unpassed that, so it's just like so much better.
Yeah.
You need a pyro on board on that one though, but I mean that should be a condition that could be met in such a deck.
Yeah, I'd rather have this card if you have a pirate on the board and it's a battle cry than just a thrall.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, you would, I think. And again, you'd also rather have it be +1/+1 than +2 straight.
Yeah.
I mean, it's better for Rogue than it would be for Warrior because of the hero power, but still, it's like. Yeah.
It's possible to buff up your Assassin's Blade a lot, but yeah.
Assassin's Blade's just never been a really good card. I mean.
If Blade Flurry was still around.
The problem is Blade Flurry. The problem is Blade Flurry is gone, so weapon buffs in Rogue are kind of like. Yeah, you can hit for more damage, but. Yeah, it's kind of shitty. Alright. Anyone else have anything else to say about this card? Like something new? About the artwork, perhaps?
The name is awesome.
I guess it's the guy from Pirates of the Caribbean. Right? The evil guy with the heart thing?
Yes.
Whatever.
Alright.
Yeah, let's give.
Moving on to the rares. Journey Below. 1 mana, discover a death rattle card.
Yeah. It sucks.
I actually kind of like this card. Only because it's a 1 mana sort of like draw 1 in Rogue. And discover a death rattle card is quite powerful. We've already seen that. Like in people play the Tomb Spider guy.
Museum Curator is the exact.
Museum Curator is insane, and
he's just good.
Well, good. Good.
Yeah, it's pretty good in like Control Priest, yeah, for sure.
I think the problem with this card is that a lot of the death rattle cards are like getting either rotated out
The good ones. That's true.
But you still have the possibility to get like the high cost ones like Sylvanas, Cairn, and
but
I think
Sneeds is gone.
Yeah, Sneeds is gone.
But but it doesn't matter. You have an Uber in this deck. It's.
That is true. I mean, I compare it to Kurtz for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, you pay 1 mana for a 1/2 body, right? Priest loves having minions, so in that aspect.
Yeah, you don't need that in Rogue.
It's nice for a priest to have a minion, but I mean, Rogue often synergizes well off of spells. So
yeah, I'd rather.
Combo activator.
Yeah, it's exactly.
I mean,
I'd rather have a 1 mana spell than I would have a 2 mana minion in Rogue.
Yeah.
So like
I mean, it's quite okay, I think.
Yeah. Like discover a different card is quite powerful because you can adapt to the situation.
You can make it.
And you can play it on turn 1 and perhaps get a 2-drop or something. Like, it's pretty good. And you also.
Or top take it on turn 7 and get a Cairn.
I just really don't like the 1 mana draw a card. They seem pointless.
Yeah, but it's good in Rogue.
My problem with this.
In Rogue is the only deck that it's good.
The problem with this is that naturally Rogue doesn't really want to play as many late game high
but you
impact cards as
Raptor
Priest,
as well.
for example.
You can get Raptor as well. Like the
No, you cannot. It's a battle cry.
It's a battle cry.
Oh, no mind. Yeah. But
you can get the late game cards once you need them.
Yeah.
That's
you can get
a.
You can get the legendary as well with this card.
Yeah, and a Barak.
No. The 4 mana legendary that we're gonna see.
Oh,
yeah,
Sarah?
It's a real.
Yeah, it has a battle cry and a death rattle, so that's quite insane.
Is it though?
You can have 2 of
Cyril
those.
is not that insane, I think. It's just like, okay. But that would be like, just a fine death rattle to get. I mean.
How often do you float a mana in Rogue?
Pretty often. Actually.
Because like for Priest, they always floated 2 mana. That's why Curator is pretty good.
I think in Rogue you.
I mean they often floated 2 mana.
Like especially
if you have other turns.
Especially if you have a buffed weapon. Like if your weapon is already buffed, then you float mana all the fucking time.
That's true.
Because you can't redagger.
Yeah. If your weapon isn't buffed, then some of the time.
I mean, if you're not floating mana, you're already doing quite okay, right? Because that means you have a 3-drop, a 4-drop, and a 5-drop minions, and then it's quite okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think this would fit into. I think it would fit into a slower rogue deck, like maybe I don't know, Raptor deck.
Yeah, I would just.
It's like it seems obvious to put it in Raptor, right?
Why? Raptor
because
is too fast to waste mana.
What?
You can just play like the Death Rattle minions to begin with.
Yeah, but you can't. The problem is you can't like play the correct Death Rattle minion to the situation. Like that's the power of this card.
The power is that you can play it. You can play it in a fast deck and fetch the slow cards once you've hit turn 6 or later, or you're playing a control matchup, and you can play it in a slow deck and fetch the fast ones if you need them. But that's not quite as good because you'll lose the 1 mana, right? But if you play it in a fast deck and you get to late game and you just need like a Cairn or like big impact effects to copy with Raptor, you can do that.
Yeah, I think I would play 2 of this in Auctioneer Rogue. Like just build an Auctioneer Rogue that's pretty like early curved, and then you have 2 of this, and then for late game you just put down these and get like a legendary or Cairn or whatever.
Know that you don't always do that, and Cairn is a legendary.
Yeah.
But like, when you have Auctioneer, you want your spells to have more impact.
Yeah, I'm not sold on this, but I could certainly see this finding its position in some decks, in some rogue decks. Now we'll see if there will even be any rogue decks, because right now it's a bit difficult to see the really good rogue deck that can compete with like all the other meta decks. But But yeah, this is like one of those. I wouldn't write it off, but I think we might not see it at all. Also, like it could be either. I think.
Fair enough.
All right, let's move on. I think things have been said. Undercity Hocketeer. 2 mana,
Huckster.
2/2 Huckster. 2 mana, 2/2 Death Rattle. Add a random class card to your hand from your opponent's class. And I don't know, it seems quite powerful, actually. Like, it's like a better loot hoarder, I think.
In stats, yeah.
Yeah, but also in effect, sort of.
Nope. No. You
I don't
can maybe if the effect was getting a card from your opponent's deck, it could be kind of similar. But when you get a random class card, it just means you can get all the cards that nobody wants to play ever, like Eye for an Eye. But I still like it because
it's easy to always mention the worst case.
Yeah,
like
that's
because
because you always
Zora,
mention
if
the
you
best.
once think about this argument, you will know that the
No.
players playing will put the good cards in the deck.
Yes,
so if you get
I
cards
agree.
from the deck,
I agree.
you will on average get better cards. than
If you get
random
if it
cards.
said you get a class card from your opponent's deck, yes, of course it would be much better, of course. But
It's just a card.
getting getting an average.
No. That's because you're comparing it to Loot Hoarder, and you said, like Loot Hoarder, you draw a card from your own deck, and your own deck does not have any single bad card. So of course, if you get a bad card, if that is a possibility from Undercity Huckster, it's worse than Loot Hoarder. It's kind of obvious, but the
No,
stats makes it makes a big difference. It's a 2/2, and therefore I like it. Like it's strong enough because the stats.
Guys, it's Loot Hoarder is just okay. I'll explain it in levels. So if Loot Hoarder is the average, then this card is either below average or above average.
No, your logic just doesn't work. I'm sorry.
I mean, this card is probably better than Loot Hoarder because the stats are better. But
Yeah.
Like
The effect
if you look
isn't.
at the effect in a vacuum, it's worse than Loot Hoarders.
No.
But
No, it's not.
It is.
Like okay, getting
It is.
getting a
super
class
obvious
card.
even.
Getting a class cards are generally better than normal cards.
Yeah, but you're playing class
they are,
cards in your
they are
own deck.
generally like, I mean, half a stat better maybe, like an average maybe
No.
one stat.
No, what? Okay,
I
you
mean,
play.
it's not
You
that
play.
much. Even the minions.
Why
the
would you
problem
play?
Is that
Okay.
half the cards are
Why
useless.
would you play decks that consist of like 20 to 25 class cards and like 5 neutrals? Oh, it's because the neutrals are only half stat.
No, we never said that. Class cards are better, but your own deck also contains class cards because you are choosing the best cards for your own deck.
Yeah, of
So you
course.
cannot say that. Getting a card from your own deck, which you have carefully selected only to have good cards, that effect is worse than getting a random class card.
Yeah, but you have so much versatility. You have so much potential to get crazy cards like that just are insane and rogue. Like just
Yeah, you have so much potential to put good cards in your deck as well, and you don't have
no,
a
but you
clue what
can't
get
put the
from your
opponent's class cards in your
cards.
deck.
No, but it doesn't matter.
I'm just gonna
Like,
say. I'm just gonna say these things. Class cards are better than normal cards, and I'm going to say there are more better class cards than there are bad class cards. So on average, you're gonna get a good class card from your opponent's class. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's fair.
Sonny has the one point that is better, right? That it doesn't draw you towards fatigue, but it's
Doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter because your rogue has never been a class going to fatigue.
Also because you don't. I guess you could play this in Fatigue Rogue, but like Fatigue Rogue has other
It doesn't
things
matter
going
because you
for
have gang
it.
up, so you win anyway.
Like
100%.
Undercity Huckster is nice for tempo because you have a card that has pretty good stats, can trade on, like it doesn't die as easily as, for example, Loot Hoarder, and can trade into things, and you get a card from it that isn't bad. Like it's like a better wet spinner effect, right? So.
But I mean, that deck is one that you for sure want to get the cards from your own deck in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to draw
I
your
agree.
brand
You want
and
to draw,
gang up
like,
and
but the stats are good enough. Like just like Wet
fight
Spinner.
tempo. Yeah.
Like Wet Spinner had good stats and also gave you a card. So like, no, but like
Yeah.
if you had a
Like-
1-drop that drew a card, it would be a 0/1, right? And that would be useless.
I
So
guess
Wedge
so,
Spinner
yeah.
was okay. And Undercity Huckster has a better effect than Wedge Spinner, so I think it's nice.
Right. I think the discussions have been had about this card. I guess I will go back to the good old argument. We will see. And let's move
We
on.
all agree it's good. Your logic is just flawed.
Right.
Okay.
6 mana spell, Thistle D. Draw a card, add 2 extra copies of it to your hand. Not this is a card I don't really like. What do you guys think?
It's bad.
Um,
Okay, and the reason is that when you use a lot of mana on a draw card, it's because you want to draw options, right?
Yeah.
But you only get one option. It's like draw one card in a top deck situation because you get 3 duplicates, but you can only you only have an option between 3 equal cards.
It sets up
This is-
insane combos, but like they're random.
we
Yeah,
just
yeah, there's
agreed
just-
that it's worse. This effect is worse than drawing, right?
Not
Not,
necessarily.
yeah, that's the
But
problem.
okay, but your argument was the argument.
But
that
yeah,
you
I
said
think
was that you'd rather
it's-
draw 3 different
yeah,
cards, right?
yeah.
And it costs 1 more mana more than Nourish, and Nourish has an additional ability, and we don't play Nourish.
Yeah.
So this card is
And it
terrible,
costs
right?
1 less than sprint,
Yeah,
which draws an whole additional card.
yeah.
So I don't think it's good.
Yeah, I think Sprint is just better than this card.
Yeah.
But
Like
yeah,
the
I mean,
only
I
way
could-
this could be good is if
If it's-
you could control it. Like what would
Yeah.
be top of your deck.
If you could get
So
if
you
you
could
could get
make some
3
super great-
shadows, if you get 3 shadow steps in a combo deck, that would be insane.
Yeah, like just straight
Why?
up triple Evis or something.
Yeah, triple Abyss. Holy shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, the problem is you can't control it, and
You can
just,
also get 3 backstabs and it's turn
Yeah.
10.
Yeah, that's like
Shit,
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Alright, let's move on. 5 mana 4/4 Shadowcaster. Battlecry, choose a friendly minion, add a 1/1 copy to your hand that costs 1.
Yeah, this card is
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, I actually like this card.
I tried to build a deck with it, just like a theory crafting, and it was really hard to find out what you can actually do with it because you need a minion on the board and you need a minion that can kind of be abused. And there isn't actually those as you could think. But like the theoretical potential is just so insane.
Yeah, it's insane with Battlecries.
Yeah. No, yeah. Even Death Rattles.
Yeah, I guess the is like anything that's not a big body is insane. Like even Ragnaros, like if you play Ragnaros in your deck, you can get another Ragnaros to get another effect off at least once. Like so much potential, but yeah,
You can kind of do endless Shadowcaster with Brand. Like if you have Brand and you Shadowcaster your Brand.
oh yeah, with Auctioneer, that's true.
Yeah, Shadowcaster and you Brand and Shadowcaster forever. But that is probably not feasible, but it's still pretty cool. Like if you get something like a Cairn, that's insane. Like a 1 mana 1/1 that spawns a 4/5.
Yeah, the big death rattles.
So
I mean, Emperor seems like quite an obvious target as well.
Emperor is gonna be very hard to.
It's gonna be because people always kill it right away, right?
If it survives, you're already kind of getting enough Emperor effect.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, Cairn or Sylvanas seems like good targets.
Yep, I agree.
What I want to know though, which is one of the things I'll find out as soon as possible, is if it copies effect that are not originally on the card. Like if a Raptor copies something and you get a 1/1, like you copy a Raptor, does it then have that additional effect on it when you play it again?
No, it would not.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I'm quite certain.
Because there's nothing to compare it to. I guess Shadow.
Shadow Step.
I
Yeah,
guess
Shadow
it's
Step.
a.
Have to check Shadow Step. But it's a copy, right? So, I don't know.
Yeah, okay. I'm not. I don't know for sure, but I'd expect it not to have the death rattle that Hobbit.
Yeah.
But I don't know honestly. I mean, this. I feel like it might be a bit too much of like you need too much of a setup for it to be good. I mean, like Canon Sylvanas, you could get it off because those are minions that your opponent might not kill. But say for Auctioneer or my own example with Emperor, you'd probably need to play Gajisan then Ivi. Now, Invis, what is it called?
Conceal.
Conceal, yeah. And then afterwards play Shadowcaster. And then you'd be able to, on the third turn, do Auctioneer shenanigans, right? But I mean, if you got Auctioneer Conceal off in the first place and it survived, you're probably just fine already. You don't need the second Auctioneer. So, I don't really think this card will see play. I mean, I could definitely see some cool shenanigans you could do with it, but I mean, I feel like it's a card. It's too much of a combo card that you need too much setup, and then you kind of just overkill it. That's why I think like if you could set it up with Emperor, it's probably even better than with Auctioneer because you don't really need the second Auctioneer if you have already gotten one effect off. So
Yeah. Maybe, but I think it's like it's an extreme value card, but again, it's in the potential. I don't think you ever play this in Tempo Rogue.
no, I don't think so either. Because it's not because it's understated, right? It's so understated.
Yeah. Right, let's move on. Blade of Chthun, or Cthulhu. 9 mana, 4/4 minion. Battlecry, destroy a minion. Add its attacking health to Cthulhu, wherever it is. And I think this card is pretty damn good in Cthulhu decks. Like, if you can just to play a minion that just destroys a minion, we saw with Big Game Hunter is insane. It costs a lot more. But the thing is that you can destroy any minion, and the attack and health are added to Cthulhu, and if it's like a Ragnaros, like in late game, destroy Ragnaros, your Cthulhu gets +8/+8 or something like that. Or 7/7, there's a lot of 7/7s. It goes around the effects that proc when you deal damage to minions, so you won't draw from like Acolyte, you won't get a Gnoll from the new
Hogger.
The new Hogger.
You really play 9 mana to kill a Acolyte and bring out a 4/4.
No, you won't. But as an example, yeah, it's just an example.
Well, yeah, it's not the good target, but I mean, you can do it, right? If you need to.
Yeah.
That's the point.
That's
I'm actually really unsure about this card because when they show matched it, we saw it can be so insane. But I mean,
in that situation, he had a what's it called? A Thorison on the board 7 turns in a row.
yeah, nah, two. I mean, he got it down for 7 mana, I think. But the point is that I mean, it's a 9-drop. It's so late.
Yeah,
Like,
it's insanely late, but it's a. Although it's a 9-drop that's really good against your opponent's late drops.
Yeah. So if the meta goes really, really slow, this card is really good because you just like your opponent plays a big dude, then you play this, you still have a mid-range dude, and he loses his big dude, and you buff your Cthulhu really, really much. But I mean, I think this would just be so dangerous to play in, like, not just playing the one, but I mean, you're playing the Cthulhu. You might be playing 2 of those. I mean, how far would you jump down before you'd have the rest of your curve to not die against aggressive decks? I feel like it's just...
Well, I've made a deck with this card.
I mean, I think it's really difficult to play a deck with 2 of them. I think you could just die to tempo decks so hard.
Yeah, and with no Blade Flurry, it's really hard.
That would be my concern for sure. That you're just simply gonna get run over by a lot of aggressive decks if you're sticking with this, like sticking with 2 Blade of Cthulhu and then Cthulhu, then you have 3 cards that are dead for the majority of the game against aggressive decks. I feel like it's so late it comes down. But like in control mirrors, it's nice.
The cool thing is that you don't need to play a shit ton of all these weird Cthulhu cards in your Cthulhu deck. Like this card can carry Cthulhu by itself.
Exactly. That's my point. Like if you can get away with just playing 2 Cthulhu cards in a Cthulhu rogue deck, while this being one of them and the other one being the Panda, 3-mana Panda. That's why I think this card is really good. It has the most potential to gain you a lot of stats on Cthulhu really fast, and I think that's like really significant.
Yeah, I mean, no other card can buff it as much as this one does.
Well, over time, the ones that buff it +1/+1 can, but yeah.
Yeah, but that's gonna take a lot of
time. Yeah, that's good. That's not feasible. All right, and a side note, this card works with Bran. So if you have a Bran Bronzebeard on the field and your opponent has a Ragnaros and you play this card, your Cthulhu gets +16.
No. That situation is not rare whatsoever.
Oh, well, you can Shadow Step this card and then you can play Bran and you can play this card on the same turn. Just saying.
Malicious!
I think that this card won't be strong enough. I think that Cthulhu, a rogue, won't be strong enough. But
we see.
But it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool. I already have 3 rogue decks planned for the new expansion.
I mean, I don't think the deck that revolves around this card, I don't think it'll be. The meta would have to slow down even more than I expected to for this card to be good.
We'll see.
But
we'll see.
We'll see.
All right. Next cards. Zariel, Poisoned Mind. 4-mana, 3/2, legendary. Battlecry and Death Rattle. Add a random toxin card to your hand, and the toxins are as follows. 1-mana spells. The first one is give a minion +3 attack. Quite good. Second one, return a minion to your hand, cost 2 less. Pretty good. Next one is give a friendly minion stealth until the next turn. Pretty good. Fire Bloom, deal 2 damage. And the last one is draw a card. I think all of them are actually really useful in Rogue. Like there's none of them that I wouldn't like. Perhaps the least one is the +3 attack most of the time.
I actually that returning a minion is very bad.
Return
most of the time.
What?
Like when I get it from spare parts, it's usually useless.
Yeah, but it costs 2 less. It's quite
That's true.
Like it doesn't cost less from the spare part.
I feel like the stealth one is the weakest because that's just straight up the spare part one, right? Every one of the others seems ridiculously OP.
Yeah, but the spare part one,
it's just the same.
The spare part one is insane in Auctioneer Rogue.
Yeah, stealth.
That is true, but yeah.
Sick.
Like you don't need the full conceal effect. Like most of the time, you just conceal 1 minion anyway. With conceal.
Yeah, and you just do it for 1 turn. That is true. And that's maybe the one point that it fits well into Auctioneer Rogue. But
yeah, it
seems odd that the Fate Leaf Toxin is on par with the spare parts, whereas the other ones are a lot above.
Granted, it is on par with one of the best spare parts.
Yeah.
I guess so. What about the cards? I mean, it's quite understated. Would you play it?
You get 2 cards that are slightly worse than cards, but you're still getting 2. So
I don't mind cards being that incredibly understated in Rogue generally, because you have your weapon to help with the traits. It's a bit too understated to be like broken, but I think I would definitely play this card in Auctioneer Rogue. Like no question about it.
Yeah, I mean, the spell. It's spells, right?
The only problem I have is that it's so hard to get back on board when you are playing so many slow minions and you don't have a AoE effect.
you've always been playing four 3-drops in Auctioneer Rogue, right? You wouldn't cut the coin dude. Would you cut the Auctioneer? Oh, you
mean
could just play
4-drops?
four drops.
I would definitely. I would play 2 of the coin dude, and I would play 1 of this as 4-drops.
And no teachers.
No, I didn't play teacher before either. Played shredder.
Oh, you played a shredder. Yeah, okay.
That's what most people did.
But that was also, I think people hated a bit on teacher.
Yeah.
Okay, my personal analysis, I guess, is that I feel like teacher is better against aggressive decks.
Yeah, definitely.
But people hated it on it so much because the spawning of minions messed up with your Tinker's Oil, but Tinker's Oil is gone now, so that argument can't really be made anymore.
Yeah, but I think the problem about teacher is that you're not really, if it just dies most of the time. Okay, if you don't abuse it on the same turn you put it out, most of the time it just dies, does nothing. The reason why Shredder was
then
good.
this is gonna die even harder.
Yeah, but you always
but then
get,
you get something from it.
Yeah, you get 2 cards.
I think this kind of needs again this kind of needs a bit slower meta game because you need the time to set up, to gather your, and then get auctioneer off for sure.
Yeah.
Whereas teacher, you just sometimes you just win against aggro on the turn you play teacher if you have a prep and a meaningful spell.
Yep.
So I like if I'd be scared of running into aggro cards that would run me over, I don't think I'd play this. I'd probably play teacher and 2 of the coin dude, or even 2 teachers. Nah, probably 2 teachers. If I'd be playing auctioneer, I'd be playing 2 of the coin dude for sure. Maybe 1 teacher, but I don't think like this is not strong against aggressive decks.
It's kind of obvious.
It's a combo card.
I guess like you can get fireball.
Okay, like you can kill a minion probably, but it's more of a setup card. It gives
it's a
you
combo card.
Spells to set up with the, it's a combo card. It is.
Yeah.
All right. I think those are it for the
man,
rogue cards.
rogue in general feels really underpowered.
Really?
Yeah.
I think if we compare this to all the cards we went through with Shaman, but okay, Shaman
everything feels underpowered compared to Shaman.
Yeah, don't compare any class to Shaman, right? But it doesn't feel like they've gotten. I mean, even the Cthulhu card, I wasn't that.
No, Huckster is like the best one.
Right, guys, move on to the priest cards. Yep. First card, 4 mana, 3/6, Hooded Acolyte.
We are priest.
We are priest. Whenever a character is healed, give your Cthulhu +1/+1, whatever it is.
Oh.
So
it has good stats.
It actually has water elemental stat line.
Yeah.
Which is really, really strong in a control deck.
Yeah, it's really strong for trading down.
And it's really strong in priest as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this card might be really good actually.
The only thing is that the effect is almost like nothing.
That is not true.
No, you can circle a feeling.
Yeah, Holy Nova as well.
Holy Nova.
Yeah, like if happens, if it happens because you're already gonna play those cards, it's just a free bonus, right?
Yeah.
You get +3 or whatever. But
also,
most of the time, it's just like you don't want to use extra resources just to trigger the ability.
No, okay, but if it survives, you play Pyromancer, you play the 1-drop, and like
teacher coin circle, yeah.
But,
I mean,
the thing is, it also counts your opponent's minions, so you get even more value from like Pyromancer combos.
It counts face as well.
Or face, yeah.
But you're not gonna do that.
Just free buffs.
I mean, I don't think you shouldn't be you shouldn't try to abuse the effect unless you you have Cthulhu in hand and a plan to play it on like one of the following turns. But 3/6 is good for stat line. It's really good in priest because it's exactly like they've always wanted timing. It's a bit worse because they can't attack buff it anymore with Villain's Chosen. But it's the perfect stat line for priest, I think.
Yep.
And the effect is sort of free because it's on par statted, and and the effect can completely take off. I mean, this is maybe the one card that could rival Blade of Cthulhu, because this can completely take off in regards to draw as well.
Yep.
No, in regards to buffs.
Yep.
So actually, I think this will be included for sure in Cthulhu Priest.
Yeah, definitely.
Will it be played?
Strong.
Will it be played in non-Cthulhu Priest?
No.
No, right?
Sure.
Yeah, you'd rather play the Holy Champion for sure.
Hmm.
I'm
It's the magical 5 number that everybody is trying to hit.
yeah,
You
that's true,
dodged.
but if you draw, I mean, most people, if you play a sort of tempo game, people won't be able to deal with a 3/5 with the minions they have on board alone. And you lose the 1 health, right? But Holy Champion just has the ability to end the game for you. It's such a threat, and this, no, you wouldn't play it without Cthulhu.
Fair enough.
Right, let's move on.
You're the priest master.
5 mana spell, power word, tentacles. Pretty sure this card wasn't in World of Warcraft. Or this spell. So you give a minion +2, +6, and I think this card's terrible.
It is absolutely terrible. You traded 2 health on the buff, lost 1 spell power, and you played.
Yeah,
It's horrendous.
It's garbage.
It's absolutely horrendous.
Yeah. Should we just move on?
Just move on. Yeah, like this. Don't play this card. Basically, no, don't disenchant it, because disenchanting is not nice. But don't put it in your deck.
It is not nice.
Right. Daksha Alchemist, 5 mana for 5 battlecry, so 5 health. I think this card is really good.
It is. I agree.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
It's like it's a better heal bot. I think it's a better heal bot.
Yeah, it heals slightly less, right? But it has so much more versatility.
Yeah, 3 more stats.
3 more stats, and it can heal your minions in case you need it.
Yeah.
I think this card is really good.
Or heal your opponent for like damage.
Yeah, with Alkani. Yeah,
or
that's
Alkani
true.
or whatever.
I always wanted to make it work with Earthen Ring, and like say Bran with Alkani, or just like Alkani on 4 and then Hero Power Earthen Ring on 5. Just always seems so ridiculous, but it just never became a thing. But yeah, this is even better on curve, right?
Yep.
And yeah, I think this card is really, really strong.
Agreed. I think you'll play 2 of this card.
Yeah, unless you're playing Cthulhu, where you have even better healing.
Yeah, true.
But that's only, yeah, we'll see that, I guess.
Alright, let's move on. 4 mana spell, Shadow Word Horror. Destroy all minions with 2 or less attack. And I don't like this card at all. What do you guys think?
No. Like, the chances of you even getting 2 kills is so low.
Like 2 or less attack is just so low. If it was 3 or less, it would be insane. Because it's attack and it's not health. That's the big problem.
Kills Knife Juggler now.
Yeah, if it was if it was 2 or less health, then maybe it would be better. But I don't know.
Oh.
Like it kills Acolyte without letting it draw. That's like a positive, but
Yeah.
there's much less tokens in general right now. We talked about that. Most of the time, a lot of minions are going to be stronger, and they're not going to have 2 or less attack most of the time. Just cleans up 1-drops, but you don't really need that in Priest. Like you can do that for so many things. I think.
I mean, this card is only good against aggro decks, right? And yeah, I don't think
Pain
you will.
is even better. Like
Yeah.
versus aggro, because you kill it on turn 2 instead of killing maybe 2 guys in turn 4.
Yeah,
this
and
card is
I
not-
think Holy Nova is just straight up better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd play Holy Nova before I'd play this for sure.
Yeah, and I also think like Excavate Evil is better.
I mean, Okay, some positives about this. It kills them even if they have Divine Shield. So if there's some super retarded aggro Shaman, no, aggro Paladin, it might be quite effective. I mean, it's...
But it kills your own as well, actually. It kills your own as well. It makes it even worse. Did you guys
It's
look
okay.
up? Whoa. Whoa.
It's...
Wait.
yeah, I don't think,
Wait. Alright, I think it's good now.
I don't think this card will see play,
Yeah.
to be honest.
Yeah, it won't.
Right, let's move on. 4 mana for 3, Shifting Shade, Battlecry, Death Rattle. Copy a card from your opponent's deck and add it to your hand. So that's the effect that you talked about, Michael. With the taking a card from
I
your opponent's
guess.
deck.
Yeah.
So is this good?
Yeah, this is good.
I like it. Yeah.
I mean,
but,
this has the stat line of a 3 mana card, right? And it has half a Sword Steal effect.
Yeah.
Um,
The only problem I see with this card is that it's kind of not in the style of Priest.
yeah, with the...
Like it's sort of
4/3.
yeah, it's sort of like the same thing with the Dark Cultist, right? Where the Dark Cultist is such an insane card, like 3/4 Death Rattle buff a dude when it dies, but
Yeah.
but it's like it's sort of the same, but I'm not even sure you put this in Priest because it's sort of like when would you need a 4/3 in Priest?
Oh, but the problem with Dark Cultist was that you had a hard time sticking another minion
Yeah.
beside it.
Yeah, that's true.
Where this card, you're always getting the value, and as a priest player, you don't mind getting the value.
Yeah, but the thing is, you can't
Because
really.
you have so much AoE.
I feel like when you have 4 attack, you really want to most of the time combine it with some kind of ping to give the 5 damage, and you don't really get that from this card. Like you can't really do that in Priest.
Oh, yeah, that's true. But
So-
you can if you have Orkney.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think this card
I'm
is
thinking about it.
really sick, to be honest.
Yeah, I like it's exactly.
Yeah, my only concern is that you might just run out of space in Priest.
Yeah,
to fit it
exactly.
in,
Yeah.
Because they got a lot of, like, you want the 5 mana heal, you want Alchemy for sure, right?
Yeah.
I mean, this feels like a card I would want to play. The question is just if I'd need to have 32 spots in my deck to be able to fit it in.
Yeah.
there's no big bomb or whatever, light bomb.
Light Bomb anymore. Like, they lost a lot of
So-
cards.
The swing around is harder.
Like a Death Lord, Zombie Chow, Velen Chosen, they lost a lot of cards that they did play, but I think they got a lot of good replacements. To be
Yeah.
honest,
Yeah.
both this, the one we just saw, the Cthulhu, got some good cards.
I feel like it's
I
not
think,
it's not hard to look at this card and say, okay, this card is good, because obviously it's pretty good. The question is, would you play it and what would you play it in? Here we go.
I think I'd play
Control
it
priest.
in a control priest. Having this as well, it's not really a tempo drop because it's two stats understated, right? But
Yeah.
I mean, it's something to challenge the board with, and it floats and it doesn't take away from your own deck. So yeah, it helps you really, really much in like the fatigue wars. So I think that would be a minion to play in a control priest, because that's what they've always struggled with, right? They've only had removal and Cabal Shadow Priest, and if the removal didn't quite fit to the situation, then they were just kind of screwed. And it's just so good to have minions, despite priest not playing too many. If you have minions on board, you're in really good shape. So,
Yep.
I think it would be that deck. It would fit into. I don't think it fits into aggro priest if that exists, but it doesn't, right?
No,
It's
it
not,
doesn't.
one, it's not
Like,
a
you
good
have to
deck, and
play
two, it
control.
doesn't fit into that. It has to be a control priest. Priests
Yeah.
always played control decks. So,
All right.
There's a big chance you get this from Curator
Oh yeah.
almost every time.
yeah. But yeah, Dark Cultist is gone, right? So this is the new
Yeah.
Yeah,
Curator
the new,
card.
and also fewer death rattles. So
Also pure, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Quite good.
it's pretty good.
I will look forward to getting this from Curator.
Yeah.
Right, let's move on. 5 mana, 6/5 Twilight Dark Commander. If your Cthulhu has at least 10 attack, restore 10 health to your hero. So it's sort of like the warrior card. 7 mana warrior card. It gives you 10 armor when you have Cthulhu with 10 attack or more. And
Yeah, but costs 2 less.
yeah, it costs 2 less, and the stats are better. Like the stats are insane. So yeah, but the problem is that yes, it's good because it costs 2 less, but a lot of the time, the fact that it costs 2 less is going to mean that you don't have 10 attack in your Cthulhu when you can play this card. Right?
I mean, yeah, you
that
could
just
have-
means you can play it
this card
together
is-
with something else.
This card is ridiculous.
That's sick. Shit is sick.
I mean, you might
On
run
curve you
into
might not get,
situations.
but yeah,
you might run into
you don't need the
situations where
heal. Yeah, you don't need the heal. The problem is that it heals your hero, right? Instead of giving
Yeah.
you armor, so you can't always just play it and get
No,
the
you
effects.
can't always overheal. But the thing is, though, that you can just play this on 5. You don't even need the effect.
Yeah.
Like, it has stats enough that it is actually just an okay drop
Right.
on 5, even without the heal if you have nothing else to do.
Actually, the reason why I think this card might be even more insane is because yesterday or the day before when I was making decks, I noticed that there is very, very few 5-drops that I actually want to play. And this is like so much better than pretty much any neutral 5-drop that it's going to dominate the 5 mana slot like really, really hard. I
Yeah,
think,
but only for Cthulhu decks, right? So
well, I might actually play this just in Priest.
No.
Like,
no,
Why?
you wouldn't play a 6/5.
Why?
You might as well
Not-
play a 5/6, right? Neutral minion, and you wouldn't play that as well. So
yeah, that's true.
You wouldn't play this without Cthulhu.
no. Like the effect with Cthulhu is so insane, so that's why you want it.
Yeah.
You also have the other card, like the 5/4 that just heals 5 every time.
Yeah, 4/5, right? 5
Yeah,
9
yeah.
4/5.
You would play that in Priest if you are not playing Cthulhu. But
Like,
I think the sick thing about this is not, you don't have to play it on curve, but it being a cheaper card means that you can combine it with something else, like a hero power or some removal or whatever.
you can
so
play-
it's like a super strong swing card.
You can play 2 of these on turn 10 to gain 20
Yeah.
health.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
like Brennan this on turn 8.
Yeah,
Yeah, that as well.
insane.
Stall until you can endless Cthulhu. Best strat.
Also, I
Yeah.
really, really like the artwork. Looks so cool.
Yeah, she looks cool.
I guess.
I guess. She's not wearing a
mean-
shirt. Alright, let's move on. Let's move on to the next card.
Okay.
0 mana epic. Forbidden Shaping. Spend all your mana, summon a random minion that costs that much. I actually like this card. I don't know.
I don't.
Yeah,
I don't
I
think
like
any
you
of the forbidden cards are good.
I think it's insane. I think it's the best. It's not insane, but I think it's the best forbidden card.
Yeah, might be.
And my reasoning is that if you check like all the 8-drops in the game, they are all like, I think they're all just good cards except for the Divine Shield 7/7. Like you have Ragnaros and Tyrion and the mage guy that gives you free arcane missiles or whatever. So if you just think about this card as a late game 8-drop that you can also, if you need to, play on all the other mana costs if you're behind on board or have to
And
use your mana
like
or whatever.
forbidden, like a forbidden card, it would probably be the best in Priest in general, because Priest a lot of time you just float mana because you don't,
It's
you
got
have
a shit ton of mana.
you have so many situational cards that you really need versatile cards as well, and like this is the versatile card of all versatile cards basically.
Yeah, you're usually gonna get something that is worse than what you would have played in the deck, but I think because in the later stages of the game, it's so close to being the same
Yeah.
in power, and with their added effect that you can play an 8-drop on turn 3 if needed be, is pretty good. So.
Yeah. I also think this card is really good, and I would play 2 of it in all control priest decks, I think.
Yeah, I was unsure if I wanted it in Cthulhu, because Cthulhu already have all
Yeah,
the
Cthulhu might be a bit different because you already have like your setup. But just
generic priest, I would play it in.
yeah, 2 of.
Okay, I'm just looking at them, and without the old gods, the worst you can get is just a flat 8/8. That's the worst you can get.
You never played on 10. You always just hero power, even if you have.
Yeah.
Just you.
8 is better than 10. 8, a Mars math. Yeah, 8 is better
Yeah, I
than
mean
10.
8 is like 8 and 9 are pretty much the same as well. I mean, like there are cards on 8 I'd rather have than cards on 9 for sure. But
Like
yeah, okay, I get your point with considering it as a late game drop and then you just have the utility to use it earlier. That said, Priest never played many high drops. You only ever played like you.
No, it's like in Tomb. It's like in Tomb.
Most Priest, yeah, I know, but you got in Tomb. My
No.
point is most Priest decks actually capped out on 6 with the highest dropped with like 2 Cabal Shadow Priest and 2 Entombs and 2 Light Bombs. Some people played like a random boom. I've done that, and I know some people have played like just I don't know with a Palatras and just like one big dude. Usera, right, was the go-to back in time. But the fact that you can actually I can use it as a utility card, I think is a really good point. And like having it as your late game.
Like with no light bombs, you're gonna play priest more greedy.
Yeah.
No, not more greedy, more minion heavy, right?
Yeah.
Like more board centered.
Yep, I agree.
Also,
Yeah, okay. I'll admit it. I think this could see play in priests.
Yeah.
But,
Yes, he would change his mind.
But yeah,
Converter.
I think you're gonna be annoyed on all the turns where you played, and it's like,
Yeah, you get a shit minion.
I got 4 mana, which is okay, but I got Defender, or 5 mana, I got BGH.
Yeah, there's a lot of
That'd be so annoying to look at.
shitty drops. Yeah, like if on turn 2 you get a 1/1, it's like whatever.
Yeah.
And of course, there's a chance that you get a
Doomsday.
injured Blade Master on turn 3, and whoop 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 whoop.
Yeah, that's
overall, overall, it's gonna feel worse than just playing a 2-drop. But if you had a 2-drop in hand and it's turn 4, like a random 4-drop is probably better than the 2-drop you would have. I think it's pretty strong.
Yep, I agree. Alright, let's move on. Embrace the Shadow. 2 mana spell. This turn, your healing effects deal damage to it. So it's Cabal on a spell.
How can I on it?
How can I always confuse those 2 cards.
Yeah.
I don't think this card is good, but
Nope, I agree.
it could be used in a combo deck.
I think the only important point is that you can use it with Circle of Healing.
No. You can use it with Flash Healer, isn't?
Yeah.
Is it called?
Yeah, but that's not worth it, I think. I mean, using this to, like, using 2 cards to deal 5 damage is...
No,
I think the only reason that you could consider putting it in your deck would be that so that you have a more consistent Alchemized Circle.
Yeah,
because
three Alchemized, right?
An additional
And I'm thinking that the only deck you would ever play this in is a deck where you want to burn in the end.
Yeah, burn finish.
But you can't play Zombie Chow.
Yeah, but you can play like the 5-drop
Flash
that
loop.
heals.
What? Oh, Chow actually.
5-drop that heals your opponent.
Yeah, the mech one, right?
No. The priest card.
Oh yeah,
The
okay. The
Battlecry
priest-
heal. So you can have if you
So
have
you can
double
do this and
double
then
flash
one of those
heal.
and 2 flash heals, and then you have 15 damage face.
Yeah, it's pretty good. You can play
We-
this 2 flash
I mean,
heals Or flash shield or just flash. Okay, if you have that deck, you're gonna have like Justicar, probably. So if you have Justicar effect, you just need this card and a flash shield, and the heal your Battlecry heal guy, and then you have 19 damage.
No, you don't, because you don't have mana for it.
Yeah, you do.
You only have 14.
Yeah. What? But the
Yeah,
guy
right.
the guy is 5. This is 2, and your hero power is 2, and flash shield is 1.
Yeah, that's
that's
14.
14.
What?
If you have
You
mana
need
for
the
one
second flash shield. You need the second flash shield to make it 19.
But 14 is also a lot. Like the only problem I see is that it's too inconsistent.
It's
and
just...
I don't think you'll see any play.
Yeah.
Alkali is just so much better in all cases where it's not for circle of healing.
I wouldn't
Oh, you
actually. I
You can
wouldn't
use
actually,
minions with this.
Yeah, I wouldn't actually say it's inconsistent.
That's true.
I think it's the opposite. I think it's quite versatile because you can just use it. Like if you really need to, you can use it and then just use your hero power. That's 4 mana, deal 2 damage. It sucks, but you can do it.
You throw a card out the window. Like if you do that with this card, you should never put it in. I mean,
just-
yes, you can do it as a like last resort play, but if you do that play, you're probably gonna lose because unless it's like they're gonna kill you next turn, odds are that it would be better to just keep it and hope you
Yeah,
draw
but the
circle
thing
next
is,
turn.
you play a deck with a lot of cards that have like healing effects. Like you don't just have your hero power, and so you can always just proc it to gain quick board control. In like you trade card advantage for board control most of the time. With this
My
card.
argument here is that
Not really.
my argument here is that
How not really?
Alkali is 1 mana understated for almost the same effect. This is
Yeah,
true.
I never argued that Arcanine was in any way worse than this card.
No.
I'm saying you can play this card in order to gain tempo in like you trade card advantage for tempo. Like you have if you have a
But you don't even get.
if you have one, if you have a
spend 2
flash
mana.
shield, you have the what's the guy called that spawns a dude?
That is the Naru.
I have the Naru. You have those 2 cards, and then you
Farseer.
So you're looking at a 3-card combo for 4 mana to
kill 2
minions.
dudes. Yeah. Like you trade. You trade.
So-
It's a tempo swing.
I mean it is, but you spend all your hand in a deck.
Yeah,
like,
but the thing is, a lot of the time, Priest just has a lot of cards in hand. If you get a combo up with the
The
Russia,
reason they have a lot of cards is because they're greedy with their cards.
yeah.
that too, and you can
So
sometimes you can set it up so that you just win with pyro circle.
Is Life the Naru
and
gone?
cleric shenanigans.
Is Life the Naru
but-
gone?
Yeah,
Okay.
it is.
But yeah,
But
I feel
like,
I feel like this card is just you spent like it's a situational card, and I mean the effect's okay, but we already have the effect on a way better card. And I mean I've seen decks play without Alkali, so
Yeah.
it's not like I don't think
Or
the decks,
2 mana,
like,
2 mana,
I
4
don't-
damage AOE. Like there's
Yeah,
it's
that's
it's
what I
insane
said. I said
tempo.
that with circular feeling, it's insane. That's the only thing I think it's really good with. And if that's argument enough to play it, I think we could see it played. So yeah, it would be in like a deck with a shit ton of heals, 2 flash heals, 2 circles, 2 alchemize. It would be in that deck, right?
Would it though?
Where else would you play it?
Nowhere.
Yeah, okay, so it's either there or not at all. And I'm not even sure I'd play it in that deck. I think I'd just be like,
enough.
okay,
Fair enough.
the alchemize are enough, and then be okay. Because I feel like it's just not useful enough to even
It
spend a card
sounds.
on it.
It sounds to me like you don't embrace the shadows.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And,
don't embrace darkness either. Isn't that the Warlock card? called?
No, that's renounce
Renounce
darkness. That's what you do, right? You renounce darkness.
And embrace the shadow. Wait, what?
No.
Yeah, I think the final consensus is that it's too heavy. Like
Yep. All I'm gonna say, like again, my final word for unpopular opinion
We're gonna see.
is no. I'm not saying like I don't play priest. Like disclaimer, I don't really play priest, but I think it has potential to give you a huge tempo swing if you're playing a really greedy deck, and that's why I think it's quite okay. Like it's better than you might think, because you sacrifice card advantage in order to gain tempo with this card. That's how I see it being used. Yep. Right. Let's move on. 6 mana, 5/5. Herald Volage. Volage. Balcry summon a 1/1 copy of each of your other minions. So it's like the rogue card, but better, right?
No,
not necessarily.
It's different. It's more like it pushes heavier onto the board, but it's less combo reliant.
It's better with Death Rattles, right?
It is.
Yeah.
So, but worse with Battle Crisis, obviously.
Of course.
And worse with
worse with Ragnaros.
Continuous effect, probably, because opponent will be.
I
mean, not with Rag.
You will overextend. It's like their own. Okay, it's really insane with Death Rattles, because like you can't really overextend with Death Rattles. Like of course you can, but they're quite sticky. So if your opponent AoEs, then like they still get the Death Rattles off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But basically, I think the card is too slow. I think because Rogue has ways to make huge like tempo board removal, so they're actually able to like backstab and eviscerate and play something, and then the opponent will have a harder time removing that card. Where Priest is worse at that. Like they don't even have a 2-drop. They close to don't have a 3-drop. They kind of have, like they have 4 drops, but like not something that really synergizes so well with Volage. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's situationally strong, but right now I don't see it in any deck, right?
I think the downfall of this card is that Priest is generally not having a lot of board control.
Yeah.
And then it's not like if this would be a turn 6 play, say you play a Belcher on 5 and you play this on 6, it's quite okay. Belcher doesn't exist anymore, right? But the thing is that it's unlikely that you will get the effect off of on 6. And then it is not that. I mean, you could set up some combo plays, but it seems too inconsistent. Oh well, it seems too rare that you get the effect off in a really good situation. And even then, you'd probably like kind of alter your deck to combo well with this card, and then it's just a one-off in your deck.
Yeah.
So you can't even alter it too much to make it feel better with this.
You're playing Defender in your Priest, right? Isn't it kind of the same?
Yeah, but the Priest I was playing way differently. Like you're losing Zombie Chow and you're losing Death Lord. That were like 2 key components in that deck. Because then you could actually fight for the board early.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Right, let's move on. Paladin cards, yay! So first one, it's a spell, 1 mana, Divine Strength, giving me +1/+2.
It feels
it's one of those Paladin cards that might see play because it's exactly 1 mana.
Yeah, but if you're playing super aggro, wouldn't you rather just have the free attack?
Yeah, but
I think
but you play both.
Well.
You play both, right?
I guess. Like it's kind of cool in Paladin where you play the sisters and then you get their effects, but the problem is that it's so low impact. Like it's the same as the Priest one, but instead of drawing a card, you get 1 attack, which usually doesn't matter.
Divine favor solves everything.
What?
Draw.
Yeah, I guess, but
draw a lot.
But would you actually play this in Divine Favor deck? I'm not sure if I would rather just have another
You
minion.
wouldn't play it in anything else. That's for sure. You'd only play it in full Cansadin with 2 divine favors.
Mm.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think I'd play battle. I'm quite certain I'd play Blessing of Might over it, and I don't think people will play this card.
No.
To be honest, I mean it's okay in Cansadin, like full aggro, if the meta is tempo oriented, because sometimes you'd just be able to make that super favorable trade, so that your opponent can never get back on board. But it's like, I don't think it's good.
Yeah, it does give you super favorable trades though. Like 2 health is actually.
Yeah, it does. I mean, you play a 1-drop, they play even a 2-drop. You buff it and you probably kill it without dying.
Yep.
Your minion. But
I think it's situationally can be strong, but yeah, I think you'd rather just play.
Yeah, I think you would rather play a minion. I agree.
Alright, moving on. A light in the darkness. Discover a minion, give it +1/+1.
Oh my, this is garbage.
Yeah, this is really bad, right? 2 mana.
Like, when would you ever play this?
nah.
Ever.
This is worse than
It's
this
2
is worse than
mana.
the rogue card.
Yeah, 2 mana
Quite
+1/+1. And it's not discover a Death Rattle minion is much better than discover a minion.
Because they are on average better.
Yeah.
So this card is not good.
This one. Stand Against Darkness. 5 mana, 7/5/1/1 Silhouette Recruits. This card
Terrible.
is utter garbage.
Yeah.
Okay,
Like, no
if-
Warlock.
Master either, right?
If it was this and gain like a what's it called? True Silver Champion.
What?
The weapon, 4 mana weapon.
Light Justice, you mean?
Like no, the 4
Yeah,
mana
Light
weapon.
Justice, right? The 1/4.
No, the 4 mana
True
weapon.
Silver, what?
Yeah. I legitimately feel they could.
No. What the fuck?
What?
Okay, might be too much.
Like
Like, it's just so-
Summon 5/1/1s.
What?
Yeah, but it's just so bad. Like it's so bad.
It isn't so bad. Like,
I
if you summon 7 guys, for example, I think it could be playable.
No.
Or if it
I
costs
still
4
don't.
mana and you summon 5/1/1s, I think it
Yeah.
could be. Like, it's
No,
not
that
so
would
far
be
off, but no.
That would be sorta okay. 5 dudes.
Because you can kind of do stuff with it. Like, you give them all Divine Shield with the 3 mana draw that we'll see.
Yeah, that should be the one. Like,
You can buff them in.
the thought hit me that if this was 3 mana, would I play it over Master for Battle? And I was like, yeah, I probably would. But that's how bad it is, seeing it at 5 mana, right?
Basically, Warlock got a card that they can play on all mana costs.
That does the same, yeah. And that
At
card I wasn't even fond of.
Yeah, so
It's terrible.
it's kind of sick maybe in Wild on turn 10 if you can make a 5 free freeze with Master for what's it called?
Quartermaster.
Well, yeah, exactly. But even then I wouldn't. But like in standard, no way.
The only argument is the 3/3 that gives them all Divine Shield, but play something else. Don't play this card.
Yeah, don't play this card. Next card. Selfless Hero. 1 mana, 2/1. Death Rattle, give a minion, random friendly minion, Divine Shield. This card is insane in a Paladin and uses anything else.
I think this card is insane, and I'm gonna be so annoyed facing against it. Like, you just play super aggressive Paladin. You play this on turn 1 or turn 2 or whatever. You go face all the time. Your opponent will eventually have to deal with it, and then something else gets Divine Shield. And if they don't, just continues to deal damage. I think it's sick.
Yeah.
Like, and once in a while, your opponent will play something, a taunt or something, to try to gain back board, and you make the favorable trade, and the other guy gets Divine Shield, and it's even harder to remove. It's just sick. I think it's sick.
They nerfed Lebanon, right? But this
Yeah.
in Paladin, this is way more annoying than Lebanon. So, yeah, this is absolutely ridiculous in that deck.
Yep. Let's move on.
But I guess they lost a lot of other great aggro decks, so I'm
Most
actually not
stuff for battle,
Yeah, most for battle.
basically.
and any button.
Alright. 3 mana weapon. 3 mana 3/2 Rallying Blade. Battle Cry, give a +1/+1 to your minions with Divine Shield. Don't like.
In the same deck.
Yeah, but okay, it's a battle cry, right? That's the problem.
Yeah.
I think it would be better as a death rattle almost.
Yeah.
Because
Be
then you
better-
can just equip, and on later turns when you have more
Yeah.
mana, you can give off guys Divine Shield and then
Yeah.
trick.
Yeah, or if it was like whenever you play a Divine Shield guy, you +1/+1.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this would fit into a Paladin as the only thing still, right? Because that's the deck where
Yeah,
you
but I don't
spam
think it's
Divine.
good enough. Like, I think you'd rather play a minion over this card.
A 3/2 for 3 mana isn't
Isn't horrendous.
so like it's bad, but it's not so bad that. I think if you just get the effect on one guy, it might be worth it. but-
Hammer is better. Hammer is better.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but Codcanger doesn't exist anymore, so.
Oh yeah.
Hammer.
Like maybe because of the 1-drop, and you also play the 2/2 that just gives Divine Shield, you might have situations
you?
where you just
Might
have
spam
one
some and
or
Divine
two
Shield.
guys. Yeah, like you have the charge guy with Divine Shield as well.
But you will never
And
give it.
used-
You will never get it off more than once, right? And then it's just strictly worse than the Shaman hammer thing.
Yeah,
You
and
can get more minions though.
Yeah, but you don't use like when do you have? I guess maybe.
I think the difference
Yeah,
is that
no.
the Shaman doesn't play mechs like
Per
per default.
default.
If
Yeah.
you play super aggro Paladin, you are playing Divine Shields as default. So
Yeah.
I think it might actually be okay in super aggro if that deck is strong enough. I'm unsure without like with all the changes to Lebanon and
Master.
Chill Minibot and Master and all that.
Oh yeah, minibot is gone as well.
Yeah, mini bots.
Yeah, I think this card, I honestly don't think it will see play, but it might just make the cut in an aggressive Paladin deck. But I don't think it will.
Yeah, I don't think either.
I guess you might be more minion focused. Yeah, fair enough.
Right, let's move on.
Let's do it.
3 mana 3/3 Steward of Darkshire. Whenever you summon a 1 health minion, give it Divine Shields.
Yep,
Oh,
that was ridiculous.
Goblin.
It's pretty cool, but I don't think it's consistent.
Yeah, I agree.
Huh.
If Master was still here,
Yeah, if Master was here, then maybe, but
Yeah,
I
I
don't-
coined this one too. Most on 3.
like you have to put terrible cards in your deck for this card to work. I think.
No, just play a Paladin.
but you
Yeah.
don't have like you have 2 ones, so you don't have 1 once.
Yeah,
Oh.
1 health minions, guys. Not 1
Oh.
attack.
Oh right. Oh yeah.
The Walken.
Yeah.
I mean, it's basically all the cancer 1-drops, right?
That might actually.
And then it's hero power gets it as well because it's on summon.
Yeah.
That
I
might
can
actually.
see this card like being real in
But wouldn't
Cancer Din, but
wouldn't
I'm
it
not sure.
the twin sisters instead, maybe? Like, because you are already playing buffs just to go face, so there's a bigger chance of the payout being sick, and they're better by themselves. But I can understand it, like, if you're on, let's say, turn 5, you play this into 1-drops, those 1-drops gets so hard to remove.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
If you can manage to set it up, play this. If you can play this, it survives, and you play like 3 1-drops on the next turn that all gets Divine Shield, you're gonna have a board that's such a pain to deal with.
Do we even have that many 1-drops that are good anymore?
We have the one we just saw, right? The 2-1 with that gives Divine Shield. Then we have like we probably play Worgen, play Argent Squire, I guess, but that doesn't gain the effect, of course. Pirate Dude, probably you'd play.
Aha!
Maybe.
2-1 haha, yeah. Let me see. 1-drops. I'm not abusive.
Yeah,
is there?
yeah.
I
don't think we need to. I don't think we need to go into depth with this card.
No.
But yeah.
But I mean, I see because it's 1 health and not 1 attack. I see. I think it could see play in full face Paladin. But it, again, it's a bit like the weapon. It's on the edge because they might just want to play
more consistent
minions as well instead of playing combo.
Yeah,
like setup cards.
I agree.
Like they might want.
But okay, so if you it's actually okay. So if you play the Argent Horse Rider, like the 2-1 with charge, and then you trade, and then you can play this card next turn to rebuff it.
No. What?
What? Why not?
Read the effect of this card.
Oh yeah, no mind. Okay.
We agree. Spot on.
Oh, I'm drunk.
But it's pretty good with Worgen.
Yeah, it's good.
It might be
in a vacuum. Like in a vacuum, it's
if
good.
If that deck is good, then this card might be good. Like super aggro. Pala.
Right, let's move on. 0 mana, Forbidden Healing. Spend all your mana healed for double the mana you spent.
Yeah, you can heal 20 health for 10 mana, but do you even want to do that?
Yeah, but that's not how you're gonna use it. Like 5 mana heal 10 is pretty good.
You're just gonna fit it in a control Paladin list and on a turn where you float mana.
I would much rather just play like they have healing minions already. Like just play all those healing minions and you have heal enough.
Yeah. Lay on hands.
Yeah, and then
lay on hands is just so much better.
Good.
Yeah, I don't like.
Yeah,
like
it's not good.
Especially if we are calling a more controlling meta, then it just becomes even worse because this is like, I mean, this is one of the cards. One amongst many of the cards that coming in the Grand the Old Gods, that is trying to keep people alive against aggro, and with the amount of anti-aggro cards revealed, the amount of aggro on in the game will probably drop, and thus this card will get worse.
Yep.
And even now it wouldn't be good because the card isn't really good.
Yeah. You want something else than just pure heal.
Yeah.
Yep. Alright, moving on. Wildfin Inquisitor. And probably one of the best artworks in the entire expansion. Silverhand Murloc. Holy shit, it looks nice. So, 1 mana, 1/3. Battlecry, your hero power becomes summon a 1/1 Murloc, and the Silverhand Murlocs look amazing. The best part about the artwork is that it looks so confused about the gigantic hammer that it just got. It's like you take a hammer and you throw it at a fucking Murloc and it picks it up and it's like, wow, look at this shiny thing.
Yeah, it's true. It's like, why am I here? Why is there war? Why am I enlisted? Please don't.
Please don't. I'm just a Murloc. So, yeah, the reason,
like
the reason
even
why,
Murlocs will drown in that attire.
Yeah, so you're definitely gonna put this card in every single Paladin Murloc deck you make, because you don't.
Not
really,
if you're playing OTK, man.
No.
Yeah, but you can't really do that anymore. Well, you can, but it's
you can, but I don't.
You
think
lost
here noted that Murgai is going to disappear.
Yeah,
in
exactly.
Yeah.
Which is why anything Murloc is probably going to be worse.
Yeah.
It's going to be a completely different deck, more like mid-range.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because
mid-range,
like
board control.
so that you don't kill him when you play anything, but you just boom, fill the board, and they're like, now I have to deal with this shit.
Yeah. 1 mana fill the board.
Yeah.
I think,
One card
one
fill the
fit
board, not 1
actually
mana.
be okay, just because it's a 1/3. Like,
Yeah,
it survives.
it's really
Go
good.
with aggro.
Yeah, it's like 1/3 stats are really good.
But I don't think that Murloc Paladin will be a thing.
No.
But it would be like, it's really hard to predict for me.
I think it's like the pirate rogue.
I think it's
if you make the deck, this card would be in there for sure, but I don't think the deck is gonna be good enough.
It's like I think that it could see play. Like, it's closer for me. Like, there's a bigger chance for me that this
Murloc
deck.
Paladin is real than pirate rogue.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on.
Yep.
Ragnaros Light Lord is the Paladin legendary of the set, and I really, really like this card. Like, on the first glance, you and I think, okay, 8 mana, 8/8 Ragnaros, it doesn't kill your opponent's cards, it only heals yourself. But like, it's such a good healing effect, and you have to deal with it.
It can attack as well.
It can attack, yeah, and it can heal itself after it trades.
Yeah.
Like, so versatile, and
I
like,
think this,
It's
really
sick.
good.
it's ridiculous.
Especially with big game hunter nerf, like, it's super
Yeah.
strong.
It's like super hard to deal with.
You pay 3 mana to get a like heal bot with 5 more stats that works every turn if it's not killed.
Yeah.
Like 5 more stats, so 10 more stats, I guess.
Yeah, if you need health, like, okay, it's great against aggro, really good against aggro. It's okay against control. It's really good against mid-range combo decks as well. Like,
Yeah, you stabilize and they have to deal with it.
yeah, exactly.
While
Like, it's
similar to
not
that
amazing. It's not amazing against control, but like,
And it has immediate effect, right?
it has immediate
Even
effect.
if they deal with it, it will have gotten the heal off at least once. Yeah.
And now I can play 2 Ragnaroses, yay.
Yeah. What deck would you fit? This is like mid
Yeah.
to late, somewhere between mid and late game Paladin deck.
definitely.
This fits into, right?
Yeah.
It probably actually fits into all of them. I think you'd play this over the regular rack. Oh, you would for sure.
Yeah.
At least if you're trying, like if you're just a bit greedy with your deck, this is perfect. It's really good.
We're still missing like 28 cards.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
That's
we
have to
missed.
say. Really good
Verdict.
card.
Verdict. This card is
Yeah,
good.
it's really good.
Really good card. And
Right.
and yet another card to fight aggro, right?
Yep. True. Probably one of the best, actually.
Yeah, I
What-
think so too.
Like, this and Tyrion are just two of the best cards
Yeah,
against aggro.
And then all the priest healing, they just got so much healing priest.
Yep.
I mean, this is actually one of the cards that kills freeze mage as well.
Yeah. Oh, it's so insane. Holy shit! It's so good against Freeze Mage.
Yeah.
And Paladin had such a hard time with Freeze Mage before.
Yeah.
So. Yep. Let's move on.
The Rise
To
of Control Paladin.
Mage class cards. First card, 2 mana Shatter. Destroy a frozen minion. I think this card is bad.
Yeah,
Agreed?
it's really cool, but it's way too hard to set up.
Yeah, it costs 2. If it was 0 mana, then I would consider playing it, and I still don't think it would be broken. Like, because you have to spend 2 cards to kill something. And that's like, then
It
it
wouldn't
would,
be
But then
broken,
it
would
becomes
be
a really
shattered.
good aggro card, right?
yeah, it becomes a good like tempo card. Now it's just a
because you
bad. It's a
can-
bad control card. It's a bad tempo card. It's a bad aggro card.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think at Zero you just like splash it in
Like
like
Freeze Mage.
tempo mage with water elementals.
Tempo Mage. Oh yeah. That's true.
But then
think
you
you
are
should,
already hitting something. Like, if you want to sacrifice your water elemental and then you shatter, it's really shitty.
yeah.
Yeah,
If
but
you
you just
like
go
the-
face and wait for them to trade with a big minion, and you shatter for 0 mana afterwards. It's like, okay, now my water went face, and I trade 1-for-1 with his big
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
Or even kill a minor dude,
Ah,
and then
it's still
let
not
him
that
trade
great.
afterwards, you shoot it.
It's, yeah, the thing is that freeze, like,
But
is
it's 2 mana.
already kinda strong. Like the minion that is frozen is not gonna do anything for a while, so you are not in a hurry to shatter it. Which
Alright,
is
guys.
why it's worse.
Guys,
So,
I
But
have-
it costs 2 mana. It doesn't cost 0. So
yeah. So
I have the perfect change for this card. Make it 10 mana and just say destroy a frozen character.
no. Fuck that.
no, did you need? But no,
Yeah, you
Emperor.
need Emperor or Coin.
Or
No, you don't need Emperor. You need a freeze minion on board.
Yeah, but
freeze
that's-
minion on
that's
board,
not gonna
coin
survive.
for Icelands or Emperor would set up the lethal. But
That
no,
would
that
be-
would be
And that would be
retarded, or-
cool. Yeah.
No, that would be retarded.
Yeah, probably.
It might actually not even see play.
I don't think it would.
Yeah.
That's not true. I think it would
Maybe
be a
a
one-off
freeze
in Freeze Mage. It
True.
would be a one-off in Freeze Mage.
Yeah,
true.
that would be retarded. Yeah, just don't.
Be
This
like,
card's
I'm stabilized. Oh, I'm dead. Nice. Game.
Unlucky. Right. Next up is Twilight Flamecaller. 3 mana, 2/2. Battlecry. Deal 1 damage to all enemy minions. So it's like a arcane explosion minion.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not too terrible.
No, it's
But I
okay.
It's not too
But
good
it's not
either.
good enough. It's not
It's
good
not-
enough.
I feel like if it was in Warrior and it dealt 1 damage to the entire board as well, and if it just had one more of stats, I think it would be good. But I think we have that card.
Oh, but it
kind of.
is. It is. Yeah.
Ah.
Oh,
I mean,
it's pretty cool with Brian.
I like it fits into maybe Reno Mage. It's like the one thing I could see it in because it's not a tempo card. It doesn't fit into Freeze Mage.
Yeah.
So it's like those weird value or like late game Reno Mage thing. But then again, it's just not that good either. So
Yeah. It doesn't
Yeah, I
kill
don't think
anything
it's
unless you
really
had something on board
worth
already.
anything.
Yeah.
It kills Aggro Paladin, though.
Yeah.
So
sure.
it's a tech card.
I mean, if the ladder is 90% Aggro Paladin, I'd play 2 of this, probably.
Yeah.
But I doubt that's gonna happen.
Yeah. Nope. Not good.
Yeah, I agree. It's not good enough to see play. And there is no deck where it's... Like, there's no meta deck where it would be good anyway, so...
Right.
Yep.
Moving on. Faceless Summoner. 6 mana, 5/5. Battlecry. Summon a random 3-cost minion. I think this card is broken.
You think?
Yep.
I
Like
think this card is pretty good. As
when
well.
you compare it to something like Cairn, you compare it to something like
Yeah, this has an
Paladin
immediate
Shredder.
effect.
Better.
Okay, Can is the comparison I would make.
Pilot Sky Golem as well.
The
Yeah,
Pilot Sky Golem.
they-
But yeah, I like
something
this better because it's an immediate battlecry effect.
Yep.
So you can finish off like in a tempo deck. It's even better to just like in a tempo deck. I considered playing Cairn, but the problem is it's kind of slow.
Yeah, it
because-
doesn't kill your opponent. This one does.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you have you will right away you will have like 8 power on board, right?
Yeah.
On average, it's maybe like a 3/3, I don't know, something like that, right?
Yeah.
And if you look at it, Pilot Sky Golem kind of has more value because it's even stats and then you get a 4-drop instead. But I think the fact that you
It's
both of the
immediate.
Sky Golem have to wait for the death rattle to trigger before, so you never have the whole power on the board at the same time.
Yeah. And
think
it's a
that's-
5/5. It's a 5/5, so it doesn't die easily to AoE.
Oh yeah,
as
but
well.
Shredder pressures more, and is better against.
No.
AoE.
No.
The
This
Sky
pressure's
Golem
more.
didn't pressure
No,
more. This
no,
pressure-
yeah, that's true. Like if your opponent has AoE, I guess true. Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Like
I
if
think
your
this is
opponent
a
has,
good buy. Like this is a good 6-drop for Tempo Mage.
yeah, definitely.
True.
And
Right.
they never played 6-drops, right? So I
No,
think
yeah,
this might be
like this is what they needed. Like, okay, you can make an insane, like super value, tempo mage deck with like the 5-drop as well. That's also really good, and like the 6-drop. That's also really good. It's like they almost have every curve.
Sure. Right.
Wow, you're lagging as fuck again.
Yeah. Otherwise, you are. I don't know. Yeah, it's probably on our end. I don't know. But
Like,
yeah,
the
I
stream
think
is
this
running
card
fine, so I'd assume it's on your
Really
end.
good.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I don't know why because yeah, our net is really good now, but yeah, it seems to be messing up.
Let's move on.
This card is really good. Yeah, let's move on.
Okay. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Alright, Cold Sorcerer, 2 mana, 3/2, spell damage +1. After you cast a spell, give you a Cthulhu +1/+1 wherever it is, and this card is garbage.
What?
Oh, I don't think that you want the Cthulhu part, but what about the spell damage part?
I don't like it.
Hmm.
Også, hvad hedder the other 2-drop? Like the... It's so
Cobalt?
much better. No, the other 2 mage drop.
Oh, the one that buffs the
Sorcerer's
hero power and the
Apprentice.
one
No,
that...
Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Sorcerer's
Sorcerer's
Apprentice.
Apprentice is so much better.
You play both?
No, but I really don't see why you play this card. Like, +1 spell damage isn't good in mage. We already, like...
Yeah, that's true.
We covered this. It's like... It's kind of counterintuitive, but it's just not that good in mage. Except if you have,
But what
like,
if
Arcane
it's-
Missiles, but...
Arcane Blast.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
don't
mean,
be the-
I'm not okay. The problem for this card is that Cthulhu is not gonna be a mage card, right?
Yeah, it's not gonna work.
And therefore it's probably not good enough. But I mean, if I could get a mage 3/2 with spell damage +1 and an additional effect, I'd be like, whoa, this card is ridiculous.
Yeah, of course, but...
But the
Yeah,
problem
yeah.
is that the Cthulhu part is not.
It's not good. Like, I don't see why you'd ever play this card in any deck. Like, because I don't think Cartoon Mage is gonna be a thing. And, like, just by itself, it's not good. So, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Fair.
I'm a bit unsure. I think this. Yeah, I'm. Yeah.
Like,
It's better than Cobalt
together
Hero.
with something like... it might be because 3/2s just die to all the Cthulhu disciples, so they just suck anyways.
Yeah, it might actually be 3/2 is just gonna be gonna be really bad because Cthulhu's disciple everywhere. That
Yeah.
might be a thing.
Fair.
Right, let's move on. Demented Frostcaller. 4 mana, 2/4. After you cast a spell, freeze a random enemy character. This card is bad as well. Confirm?
Yeah.
It costs 1 more mana than Flamewake and has the worst effect.
Yep.
One thing that should be noted is that they confirmed somewhere that it
Yeah,
cannot
if-
freeze already frozen
Yeah,
targets.
exactly.
but
So, yeah,
it
doesn't
helps
stack,
it, but it doesn't change
yeah,
it
it's
from being
still bad. Like, if it was 3 mana,
It'd still be worse than Flame
Yeah,
Caller.
it'd still be worse than Flame Caller, right?
Flamewaker.
Anyway, so, yeah, just not good. Right. Servant of Yuxaron. 5 mana, 5/4. Battlecry, I cast a random spell that costs 5 or less. Target chosen randomly. I think this card's really good.
Nope, it sucks.
And
Major bugs.
you're gonna say it sucks, but for the same reason that I think Yuxaron is good, I think this card is even better than
Oh,
Yuxaron.
no.
Oh yeah, okay, but then
There's a big
then you are
difference.
wrong for the same statement that you were wrong on Yoxaron as well. So
Yeah, it's true.
I think honestly, I think this card is actually
It's really good.
I think I heard it somewhere that it's well designed because it has the random effect, like the random factor to make the place right, and it's just exactly understated enough that it's not good enough to just be out to include in like all tempo mage decks or
I whoa,
It's
you're
just,
lagging.
which is
Oh,
nice.
just on average a little positive for you, but the
you're
two
lagging so
steps
much.
below
You're
is not
lagging
worth
so
it.
much.
Black Masters.
It
Yeah.
seems to have settled down again.
Okay, I'll repeat myself then.
Yeah, go ahead.
The card is well designed in the regard that it is just understated enough that the fact that the effect is slightly positive for you on average is not enough to make it just a core card in all tempo mage decks.
Yeah, I agree.
And you have the fun factor of the randomness, so you will be like see there will be the Reddit highlights, but it won't be infuriating it will be infuriating in like constructed and in tournaments when it works, but you will know that on average it's not good enough, so it probably won't see play in tournaments. because it's just that, just a little understated. Like on 5/5, it would it'd be on the edge at that point, I think. But as a 5/4, it just doesn't have enough stats to be viable, I think.
I kind of like it. I'm definitely gonna test this and see how it works out compared to, because it gives you it has the potential to win you the game.
No.
It has it has a potential to win you.
It has it has the potential.
Okay, if your opponent has 6 health and it
ways.
fireballs him. Yeah.
No, okay. If your opponent has a minion, like you play in a tempo deck, your opponent has a minion. You play this card, you kill their minion with some effect.
You kill your own.
Yeah, that's the thing. But like statistically, it's going to be better than worse.
It's more often gonna pick good cards than it's gonna pick bad cards.
Yeah.
But it's sometimes gonna play your ancestor communion as well, and you just lose.
Yeah, of course. But
we'll see. There's both ways, but like Trump on it.
Wow, you're completely.
Like, there's a he hit the mark, right? Like a bigger chance that you got something good than something bad, but because those two were so close to each other, like having a minion that is badly statted makes it below average. It's all about the stats then.
No, it's kind of, for me, it's kind of like about the tempo as well. Like again, you look at the 5-drops. You look at the 5-drops, right? So there aren't really that good 5-drops. That being said,
doesn't matter.
Mage has a good 5-drop. Oh, it does matter.
And Asher is just fine in the deck as well.
Like you can play without 5-drops if you like. You basically you don't play bad 5-drops. Now you think it's good, fair enough. But like if it was confirmed bad, you wouldn't play a bad card just because you have missed 5-drops. That's not how it works.
I'm not sure if I would play this card, but I will definitely test it. That's for sure.
Yeah, like fair. Like I will.
The reason why I'm kind of on defense is because I like the Yogg-Saron effect as a finisher, but I'm not sure that I like it just as like a minion. Because then if you get like Astral Communion only once, then it's terrible. But if you have the Yogg-Saron effect and you start with Astral Communion, then maybe you get some draw cards like.
Like Yogg-Saron is better because you cast maybe 12 spells, right? Yeah. So there's a bigger chance that you will get something good out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Where this is just
exactly. So and also a consideration. Does it count as your hero casting a spell? So do you actually get another spell for Yogg-Saron?
Nope.
Well, that's stupid. Like it's a servative Yogg-Saron.
It works just as Yogg-Saron with it's the card that's casting.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Like the code for this is basically Yogg-Saron with 1 in the parameter.
Yeah. And 5 mana or less.
Yeah.
But that also limits actually. So I guess you can't get like Doom and Twisting Nether and shit like that.
But you want that.
What? No.
Yeah,
not in a tempo deck.
You want Siphon Soul.
Oh yeah, but like I think there's.
Yeah, and you want to summon
Flame
for
Strike
Leog and heal yourself for 8 and draw 3.
I'd like to do the math on just like 5 or less and see if that improves the chances of getting something good. Because I think it might actually. I think a lot of the worst cards are Warlock cards.
Like Mind Control, for example. Like there's so many strong high spells. Like heal yourself for full or whatever. But yeah, I don't think it's good. You think it might see play? Let's continue on.
Yeah. Right, Forbidden Flame, 0 mana. This card is garbage. It actually says that on the card. If you read the card closely, it says this card is garbage. We agree?
Forbidden garbage.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It's worse than all other cards on all mana slots.
And it's only to a minion. If it could hit face, then maybe. But
then it would be
good. Yeah, it'd be good.
Yeah.
Then it would just be Pyro. Then you'd never play Pyroblast, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But
the problem is that you.
Yeah,
you're
Power Blast-
always exactly not killing anything with this
Yeah,
because
exactly.
minions have 1 health more than the mana cost.
Yeah, exactly. Like Yeti and 3 drops and
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like on 1 it's worse than Arcane Blast, and 2 it's worse than Frostbolt, and 3 it's worse than. Yeah, there are not really anything in Mage. And 4 it's worse than Firewall. 5 it's worse than Flame Lance. It's only on 10 that it's even. So it's terrible.
right.
And at that point you can only deal it to a minion, so it's not good.
Let's go on.
Yeah.
5 mana Kabbalist Dome. Add 3 random mage spells to your hand.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's all right. I don't think definitely a super control card, right? Because you draw cards, but not from your deck. It's strong, but I don't.
I actually think it's better than I initially thought, because as mage you can actually do those super grindy plays with Frost Nova and Flame Strike and Blizzard, and the additional effect that mage actually don't have that many bad spells. Like, it's not like Paladin where you have all the secrets and
Yeah, mage has good spells. That's why the 5-drop is good as well. But I like the minion better. Like I don't see why you play this. You won't play this over the minion, right?
What? Or which minion?
Yeah, the 5 mana minion.
Conjurer.
Conjurer.
Oh, Conjure. Yeah, Conjure is probably better. That's true.
Because you can
But
discover as
Conjure
well.
is more of a but this card gives you value. So like you don't play this in tempo because Conjurer, and then after Conjurer you play Ashy Drake, and you already have Arcane Intellect maybe. Like, I wouldn't play this in tempo, but you could play it in some super greedy like Fatigue Mage, right? Because you're actually creating the cards out of nothing, and it's pure value.
Yeah.
If Fatigue Mage still works, because Duplicate is gone, right? So.
Yeah, but this kind of reminds me of Echo of Medivh in some way. In the same way that it makes that it gives value. So, yeah, I think it could see play in some of the decks that we've seen Echo of Medivh play, like in a value grind mage of some sort. So, I think that would be the deck where it fits into. I don't think you'd. Maybe like I have some idea of that it might fit into like into Tempo Mage in the place of.
No.
Tempo Mage? Are you
No.
drunk?
But
Never.
no, but it won't, right? The thing is, Mage actually, like Tempo Mage sometimes just sits still, and just waits for their combo with Flame Waker to go off. But no, I don't think. I think it will be in like the Echo of Medivh decks that it could see play.
Echo is gone.
Yeah, I mean, but the decks where Echo was played.
Yeah.
Like,
Fatigue Mage, exactly like I said.
yeah, like Fatigue or
Value
grind
or whatever.
grind mage. Yeah.
Grinder. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Should we move on? Like, I don't think there's anything more to say.
Yeah, there's nothing more to say about it.
Right. Hanomalus. Hanomalus.
Anomalous. I don't know.
So 8 mana, 8 battle death rattle,
Oh
deal
my.
8 damage to all minions. Oh, 8/6, yeah. I don't.
It's absolutely horrendous.
Yeah, it's
oh
bad,
my.
right?
It's super garbage. Like, this is worse. This is way worse than the dragon card that we discussed in the last time. What's it called? The
Chillmore.
7/7. Yeah, Chillmore, right? So Chillmore is taunt, so it at least does something, where this just never does anything, ever. And if it dies, you already killed probably the worst threat. So like, well, there's no
Yeah.
situation where this is good.
Yeah. Like, they can just trade all their minions, right? It's like Chillmore, but worse.
They can trade all the minions, or they can just go face. And like if they have a bunch of small minions because they're aggro,
Yeah, you can't
play this,
suicide
they
it
go
on the
face. You
following turn.
can't even suicide it, right? So
The play
it's just-
is to play it and be like, haha, you won't trade because I destroy, and then you go face next turn and double fireball for lethal. But like,
oh my.
I don't know what they expected to do.
It should have perhaps been 8 damage to all characters. Would it be better or worse?
No, it wouldn't, because you want to play it in a controller and you're fucking yourself over.
Yeah, but
Like,
then you could
I mean,
maybe
it
play
wouldn't
in...
be good if it was 8 damage to all minions on your opponent's side of the field. It wouldn't be good at that point either.
Well, okay, if it was all characters, then you could play it at like as like a finisher in a tempo-ish deck. Like you play it, you hit face, and then they have to deal with it, and then they still take 8 face damage and lose the board. Like that.
Yeah, no. Then they take 8 face damage and deal with your board.
Yeah, but you play it as a finisher, so you played like when your opponent has sort of, yeah.
How about we just play Ragnaros instead?
Yeah, that's the thing. But
Yeah.
this has the potential to be, yeah, I don't know. It's not good. In this state, it's not good,
no.
definitely. Yeah. Right, let's move on. Oh, we're already at the hunter card. So, on the hunts, deal 1 damage, summon a 1/1 Mastiff. And the Mastiff is a dog. Did you get?
Yeah,
Why-
but not a usual dog because it doesn't charge. When I first saw it, I was so certain. Okay, deal 1 damage, summon a 1/1 Mastiff. Okay, we're gonna deal 1 damage and then we'll have a 1/1 charge. But when it didn't charge, it was like, wow,
I still think
that's
it's good.
disappointing.
Like, okay,
Yeah, I'm unsure. So you go.
okay.
I claim Coil is much better.
Okay.
Mortal Coil. Just to get a reference of the power level of the card, right?
Yeah, but Coil is super strong. Like I would play Coil in Hunter every day.
Would you though? Like you're not playing it in Sue.
I think
That's maybe because of the Warlock hero power that you already have.
I think this card synergizes really well with a more control-ish hunter.
Yeah, it's good with Houndmaster,
Because
I guess.
you can play it with lock and load as like
Oh, yeah, but yeah, no. Just forget the dream about long load. It's not gonna be good.
Oh, why wouldn't you play lock and load in control hunter?
It doesn't work. I have
It
tested
doesn't,
many
it doesn't
times.
work.
And Mark of the Wild is gone. No, what was it called? Hunter's Mark, I guess.
It's not
Like-
gone. Costs
Gone
1
now.
mana more.
No, it's not gone, but it's way worse with Lock and Load, right? Like 0 mana is insane with Lock and Load. 1 mana, then you can't go forever. So
Yeah, in my as I said, it makes all of the beast cards like
Yeah, because you can always play the beast synergy cards.
yeah.
Just 1 extra mana and then
Yeah.
get the effect.
And Ram
That's
Wrangler,
actually one point.
Ram Wrangler we talked about is getting kind of buffed with the
The
high
8,
cost.
there's a new
Yeah.
8/8, right?
Yeah,
the
and-
biggest Ram Wrangler is actually, we're gonna see in a moment, wolf that spawns spiders.
Are the spiders that? Oh yeah,
Yeah,
we can get
yeah.
that.
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to
I
see
don't
play.
think this card. I'm actually really unsure about this card. My feeling says that this is not really good enough, but I might be
Yeah.
wrong. I mean, it could see play in like mid to control hunter that plays beast synergy because it actually kind of deals pretty well with aggro. Like on early turns, it's kind of like Living Roots from Druid, I think.
Yeah, it's actually almost the same.
Pretty similar to Living Roots, right? It's like.
The problem is that Arcane Shot is not played, and I think this won't be for the same reasons.
No, this is
Because-
better.
But
This
it's
is much better.
Beast. I think
No,
the point
it
here is
doesn't.
that
It's
it's
much better than Arcane Shot.
How? Like
It summons a
if the
beast.
opponents- Yeah, but it deals 1 less damage.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but it
yeah.
summons a that's okay. The significant part is it summons a beast for beast synergy, and
Yeah,
like
if it wasn't a beast, it would be terrible, I think.
yeah,
But I think the fact that you can get beast, like, I don't think this fits into any other deck than Double Houndmaster, probably a Ram Wrangler, that type of deck. If it has a place even there. And I think it might actually. Yeah, this is like on the edge. It wrecks aggro decks really hard.
Yep.
Yeah, super aggro decks. Like it sucks to
Yeah.
something like Zoo, right?
Decks that play 2-1s basically.
Yeah.
It's going. And Hunter doesn't want to play
I really
decks
thought
that
it
are
was.
faster than-
I thought it was pretty cool, but I'm actually more and more unsure if it's any good.
I will make a
Because-
deck.
I started
The
I-
problem
I-
is
I will
the
make
problem
a deck.
is the 1 mana value proposition, where you just run out of cards if you have too many 1 mana cards.
Lock and load, baby. Lock and load.
Yeah, but no.
I love.
Don't make a lock and load dream. We tried that so much and it didn't.
Yeah, but hey, you try the lock and load is a card that gets better the more cards we get, because you can get better cards that synergize with it.
Oh, that's true. The more cheap
just-
cards we have, the
Did you
more
just lose quick shot,
shit
by the
we
way?
can just.
No,
nope.
no, not quick shot.
What
I actually
hundred
don't know
spells
what
did we lose?
I don't think
You don't lose quick shot.
Is it Glaive we lost?
Yeah.
Yeah, that might be true.
Like
but
Goblin versus Gnomes, I don't remember them having any significant spells for Hunter.
Huh. Okay.
but anyway, I think we should move on.
Yeah, we talked enough about this, I think. But
Yep.
yeah, it's interesting.
Okay, now a card that I think is really good. Fiery Bats, 1 mana 2/1 beasts. Therefore, deal 1 damage to a random enemy. And the reason why I think this is really good is I think it will be played as a 2-of in all like really aggressive hunter decks. I think it's better than Lepanome, and Lepanome has been nerfed. Like before nerf, I think it's better than Lepanome. And
Really?
now, yeah.
Like the
And-
problem is that if your opponent deals with it like a little bit late, then the 1 damage won't hit face. Like it will just hit one of the random minions that they have.
Yeah, that's true. But like the thing is, you in every single really aggressive hunter deck, like Face Hunter or Hybrid Hunter, I've always wanted one more 1-drop, like one more 1-drop, because you always are forced to play something like a Worgen or something like a South Sea Deckhand.
Haha.
Yeah, because like you have to put in, because you just need more like consistency in your deck, and I think this card is just like, it's not extremely broken, but it's good enough that it's better than the neutral 1-drops, and it's good like it's going to help consistency, and I think that's a big deal. So yeah, I think this card is really good, but not obviously good. But I think in the deck that it's going to play is really good. Lepanome isn't gone. Like I actually consider maybe playing Lepanome if you play full Face Hunter.
No.
Maybe.
I think you wouldn't play Lebanon because you got this card.
yeah, maybe that's
like,
true as well.
I can see Fiery like super aggro, yeah, because there's no other or no better option to play Fiery Bat.
Web Spinner is gone though.
Yeah, Spinner's gone as
So
well.
if you want to play then
They
the
don't
And
do
it's
the
a
same
beast.
thing.
Like it's really
They
significant
don't
that
do
it's
the
a
same
beast
thing.
too.
They don't do the same thing. Like Web Spinner is a mid-range card because you get something you can play.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I guess the one on the Hunt is better in like mid-range beasts.
Yeah, this is
Yeah, I guess so. I guess this is
But I don't think it's that strong. Like the 1 damage is usually not gonna matter unless you're in a...
the 1 damage is good.
yeah, the 1 damage is real good. It can kill off him. Like it's like a flame juggler, right? But
Yeah, it's like a flame dragon. Or well, more correct, it's like a huge toad.
yeah,
but
huge toad. But it's better because it's 1 mana.
it's better in face because it's on one. It's a 1-drop.
Yeah. And it's really significant that it's a 1 mana beast as well, because you can combine it with kill commands for even less mana.
Yeah.
Like 6.
I'm unsure if face, like, I think the aggressive hunter decks lost a whole lot with scientists, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. I'm quite sure.
still have-
So.
notches. I'm actually more concerned about that Leper loss because I disagree. I think Leper was stronger than Fiery Bat.
No, I completely disagree. Just the effect, I feel like it's hard to say. It's hard to make the call, but I like the Fiery Bat effect more because it has the potential to kill like your opponent's 1-drop. And like if your opponent plays a squire and you play this card, your opponent plays a squire, you hit face, and then the opponent trades your squire into this card, and then it might kill the squire or it might hit the face as well.
I think it depends a bit on your like. Okay, we're talking the old leopard gnome, right? I think the old leopard gnome would on paper be better in full face, but I think you'd still play both. Yeah. And I think this would probably be slightly better in hybrid because you try to hold the board slightly longer.
Yep. Hybrid is.
But again,
really
in that deck too, you'd play both. I don't think you'd play leopard at all now.
Yeah, might be true.
No,
but yeah, and also I really think it's significant that it's a beast and leopard gnome wasn't. Like I really like.
That too. It's
a really cheap beast, and that's good. All right, moving on. Carrion Group. So 3 mana 2/5 beast and does nothing.
It's a retarded Psyduck. Let's continue.
Psyduck. Right. Next card. Next card. 3 mana spell infest. Give your minions Death Rattle, add a random beast to your hand.
Yeah. Sadly,
I don't like this card.
Like,
mostly because it's overcosted, I think. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's overcosted. It's basically, getting random beasts we have seen is super bad. Like it's the worst of all the get something random abilities in the game because the standard beasts just suck so much. There's so many bad beasts in Classic.
I guess it's better with Discovery because you get the 100 beasts.
Yeah.
You get beasts through Discovery.
Sorry, you get the bonus statistics. You don't get that from this. And you need at least 2 minions for it to be Arcane Intellect level. And one of those new beasts you get are probably kind of useless, maybe a parrot. So like you need
no
4
parrots
minions
anymore.
I think you need at least 4 minions for this to be good, and that situation is so rare. I would much rather just play Cult Master. Like Cult Master is way better.
Yep.
It also gives you a minion on top of it. Like it gives you a 4/2 mana, like for 1 mana.
And it gives you good cards.
Yeah, it's way better. Infest is useless.
Yep. Let's move on.
Yeah, probably.
3 mana 4/2 Forlorn Stalker. I can't talk anymore. Give all Death Rattle minions in your hand +1/+1, and it's in your hand. That's quite interesting, actually. And it's
pretty cool, but I think it's bad.
I don't think there's enough good. Like, okay, this is. I think this is one of the cards that gets better as more cards are revealed. Because right now I don't think there's that many. Because of the rotation with Nax out, I think it's not that many good Death Rattle minions. That this card is going to be good.
But isn't the point that we're never gonna get more cards because every time they introduce something new, they're gonna remove something else?
No, this is gonna stay here for a while.
Yeah, I know. But when we get the next set, right, we are gonna lose.
Nope. No.
Like
no, there
we
is
get
a lot of
sets,
Death
and then each once every year you cut out 2 or 3 sets.
Yeah, exactly.
At once.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So for a while now, the pool is gonna get bigger. Okay. Yeah. Then your argument stands.
And I think just in a vacuum, the card isn't really it's good. Like 4/2 and Hunter. 4/2 and Hunter is fine, and it's a 3 mana card.
No.
And okay, if you play,
I think you need at least 2 Death Rattle minions in your hand, then it's good, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And
that's easy to have. Like that's easy to have.
No. Not right now. Like with the
not
pool
right
of
now,
cards, it is.
Okay, previous meta. Actually, I think I would play this card maybe.
Yeah, because you had Nax, right?
Because you had Spider and West.
You had Spider, Scientist, even Web Spinner. Leper Gnome, etc.
Yeah.
But everything is just gone now.
Yeah,
Leper
exactly.
is nerfed, Sludge is gone, Mad Scientist is gone, Sludge is gone, all the good Death Rattles are just gone,
So basically it's probably pretty good in Wild, but Standard it's not good.
Yeah, the problem is that all the good Death Rattles are not here anymore, so you'd have to make a Death Rattle deck for it to be consistent, right? And then you just end up making a bad deck. So at the moment, I don't think this has a good deck where it fits.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the card in itself, I don't think it's a bad card. but I just don't think it fits anywhere right now.
Yeah, it just doesn't. The deck doesn't exist. But I get the point that it would be good in like a mid range in the previous meta.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like you don't care for buffing a Savannah, for example. Just
No.
doesn't matter.
No, just makes the big game talk that way.
Right, let's move on. Infested Wolf. See, this is a good Death Rattle card. So 4 mana, Death Rattle summon 2/1/1 spiders, and it's a beast, and the spiders are beasts as well, which is quite significant.
I feel like this is a Shredder replacement, almost.
Yeah, I agree.
Like it has less attack, but the effect is slightly better.
Yeah, slightly
No.
better. Oh, well, I think it's slightly better.
Because you get beasts guaranteed, right?
Yeah, you get guaranteed, and like it doesn't, like you. Okay, you don't have the chance to get something insane, but you don't get screwed over. Like it's consistent, and I prefer consistency when it's like average consistency. And because
I think the upside to this is that it's beasts, right? But I don't think it's Shredder.
I think it's close. The one attack matters though a lot.
yeah,
It does, sure. And the 2/1/1s, if not beasts, would be worse than average from Shredder.
I'm not sure. Like the average from Shredder was 2/2, right?
No, it was better.
Was it?
I'm quite certain it was better than 2/2.
I always got 1/1, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I think. I mean, there are the extreme cases, right, with like Doomsayer and Sheep.
Yeah, of course.
And then
Moonhouse
I think
Maelstrom.
amongst all the strictly stat minions, it's like a 2/3 or 3/2 or something.
I guess fair enough.
That's average.
Yeah. But like the beast tag matters because of Houndmaster.
Yeah,
Like,
and
Yeah,
Ram Wrangler. Ram
it seems
Wrangler.
that they're really trying to push the.
Ram Wrangler.
I'm unsure if Ram Wrangler gets a buff, but I'm unsure if Ram Wrangler is actually good. Like I have played it a lot, and holy shit, there's a lot of shitty beasts. Like
Well, it was
1/1 wolves and.
Honestly,
2/2,
my testing with Ram Wrangler has been quite good.
Interesting.
Like, but the deck itself wasn't that good, but Ram Wrangler was pretty good. Like it's sort of the same with the
Ram Wrangler
the
was
Mage card.
always live, so just never gave me anything.
Okay, I had the opposite effect. Like it wasn't always live, but when it was live, it was was pretty good. So yeah, I feel like I can make the same arguments as I do with the Mage card. Like the 5/5 summon a 3/3, sort of like the same. Like where I'd rather have the battle cry because it pushes more.
That's true.
So
on this one or what?
no,
on
no,
Ram Wrangler.
on Ram Wrangler. So
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so I like it, and I'm not sure, but I'm gonna try to make a sort of Death Rattle Beast Hunter deck. I'm not sure it's gonna work, but maybe if it works, it's gonna be good.
I think like this minion is good enough in itself, but like because of the legendary that we'll see in a moment, and the stickiness, and for Houndmaster and all the synergy, I feel like Infested Wolf will be a stable in mid range.
Yep, I concur.
Oh my god, is that a disgusting wolf, man? To just be crawling with living spiders inside.
Yeah. Okay. Any objections, Herudra?
No.
Right, let's move on. Right, 8 mana, Call of the Wild, summon all 3 animal companions. So, yeah. You can't get 3 Hoffers, unfortunately. Could have been cool. Well, not cool.
Before you start describing like the power level, a quick ruling: if you only have 2 spaces, it will summon in alphabetical order.
So which one doesn't get summoned?
So you get
Hoffer,
Hoffer.
Misha. No, Hoffer, Leog, Misha, right?
Yeah. So like you always get charge. If you only have 1 space, you get charge. If you have 2 spaces, you get charge with 1 more attack, and then you get the taunt in the end.
I'm actually unsure. I kind of I
think it's
I think it's quite costly, right? And 8 mana. Why won't you just play Ragnaros instead? But
Because this card is better than Ragnaros.
you
Yeah.
think?
Yeah, it is. It's a lot better. This card is absolutely ridiculous. You get a
Okay,
get a 4/4 taunt, a 2/4 that buffs your entire board, and a 4/2 5/2 charge, right? So you can use it. You can use it to like. You can use it for lethal.
It costs 8 mana.
Yeah, it costs as much as Ragnaros, but I'm confident that this card is a lot better than Ragnaros.
But would you play this card?
Yeah.
Yeah,
what?
in mid-range Hunter, I think I would play too, actually.
Really?
So it's like a really late curved mid-range.
I don't.
Yeah, mid-range, like where the last card you play is Call of the Wild,
but
and you don't play 7 drops.
Mid-range
and you
used to be 2 high mains and then boom, and then we're done, right? So 2 8 drops.
So you remove boom and you put 1 additional high cast in. It's like still mid-range.
Yeah, but you said two of them. Yeah.
I'm not confident.
Like the power.
I feel.
Dora, if you hate on this one, this is one of the cards you will be absolutely alone on, because I saw a Crypt reviewing something from a Reddit poll, and this was like the one card that people were expecting. Just like with the Rune last time, which ended up being not so good, to be fair. But again, this has the position of Rin where everyone is like, okay, this card is going to be insane.
Yeah. Like I don't mind. Like just looking at the card.
Bring your arguments.
Yeah, I'll bring my arguments. Okay, looking at the card in a vacuum, this card is really good. Like you summon 3 dudes, the stats are spread out pretty well. You have some different effects. You have the charge that can. It's really versatile. You summon 3 dudes. Like it has basically everything you want in a card, right? In a sort of like a big card. My only problem with it is that it's an 8 mana card in Hunter, where like I'm not if there's like a control Hunter deck, and even then like in control Hunter, maybe you want to play like a legendary.
So my counter argument, I guess, is that like
is it better than
Hunter, you were playing Dr. Boom because it was so strong, right?
I wasn't.
You
like,
weren't. Fair enough.
I think a lot of people weren't. Like many people, High Main was the last card in midrange Hunter. Maybe Dr. Boom, but like it wasn't
like
every
where
list.
this card has the additional effect of actually also being burst. Like it's 5 damage burst plus 1 more for whatever minion you already have.
Dr. Boom is 8 damage burst to the face.
Not on the turn that you play.
What?
Well, next turn. But
okay, with that argument, then this is like 16 damage burst or whatever, right? Like, you charge first, and then next turn you can attack with 4
No. You have
5
4
and 5 and 2.
You have 4 Wind Fury minions on the board when you play it. Then it's 37.
Okay. My point is, 8 mana is a lot for a card that in an aggressive deck that doesn't just win you the game.
But for me, mid-range is not complete. Like mid-range Hunter is more Zoo-ish. Like you'll play Infested Wolf, right? That's about getting bored while also once in a while hitting face when you can.
With the
this fits into the like Monk is playing a bad Hunter deck right now with like the Discovery. If you just take all the bad cards out and add this instead for value, then you like that's sort of like Beast, good curve, like good minions, Ram Wrangler, Houndmaster, the Wolf thing. 2 high mains, and then this 2 of those on 8. Then you have a really solid deck.
If this card instead was 5 mana, summon 2 random animal companions, or 2 of the 3, whatever.
Yeah, like, it would be even better.
It would be really good. But I think 8 mana might actually be so much mana that I think this card, like it's sort of like the Varian Rin effect. Like I see Varian Rin has a good deck right now.
10 is more than.
10 is more than 8. That's correct. But but in Hunter, I'm not sure. I will admit that I am not like completely confident. But actually, I'm going towards the. I'm not sure it's gonna see play because it's just too expensive.
Fair enough. Like for me, it's more that the power is just so high. Like you get 3.5 mana minions, right?
Yeah. Like but there's a lot of like 8 mana. Like we talked about 8 mana being so strong. Like I'm not sure if it's stronger than all the legendaries.
I think it is.
Okay, if your opponent plays a Tyrion, you play this card.
Okay, Tyrion is also the best card in the game.
Okay, let's say
if I had Tyrion in Hunter, I would also play it.
Yeah, of course. But like, yeah.
I think this is better than Ragnaros, and it's better than most 8-drops you can get. Like, even if you're a tempo deck, right? Often if you have a legendary, but you also have 2 3-drops and a 2-drop, you play those 3 cards. And this is better than 2 3-drops and a 2-drop. Like, it's 3.5 drops.
Yeah, like it's really good value, but again, yeah.
And it also just for tempo. I think I would rather
if you see it, you're gonna see 1 maybe as a finisher. I don't think you're ever gonna see 2.
That might be true. That might be true. That that playing 2 might be a little bit too greedy. But the power seems like you could play 2. But yeah, like I don't think we have more to say on this.
Yeah. That was the arguments, right? So, are you gonna see 2 of this card? 8 mana, 8 giant sandworm. Whenever this minion kills another minion, it may attack again.
So, we can all agree that this is not one of the great 8-drops you were talking about later.
Oh, yeah. But I think, the place where we'll see this is the fact that Ram Wrangler got buffed.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, exactly.
And then for pain in the ass when no web spinner, but like
in arena,
random discovery effects when people are searching for value, and it's like, oh, I can fetch this, but it's gonna be most annoying when it comes out of Ram Wrangler.
Like, surprisingly often when I get something like the core beast or whatever 7 mana card from a discover, I never get to play it because there's never a time where it can do anything.
Yeah.
No, because it has 5 health and it's not a threat.
It has 9 attack, so.
Oh yeah, I mean it's a threat, but it's not a threat to your opponent's board because it's so easy to kill off.
That's true. But yeah, usually like something I can crush because of it can deal face damage instantly. You can. I mean, I'm not even sure that it's that good for discovery. It's just insane for Ram Wrangler, of course.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. Right, let's move on.
Never put it into the deck.
The Hunter Legendary, Princess Huhuran. 5 mana, 6/5 beast, spell cry, trigger friendly minions, death rattle effect. And this card is absolutely bonkers, but depending on if Death Rattle Hunter is a thing or not, then this card might not see play. Which is sad.
The difference between this and Forlorn Stalker is that you can. I think this effect is actually more impactful, and it has better stats for its cost. And it kind of works with Infested Wolf. If Infested Wolf wouldn't have been released, I actually don't think you would play this. But right now, I could see it be played because you have 2 Infested Wolf and 2 Savannah Highmanes, and that might just be enough. Because it's already on par stats.
Yeah, the Highmanes and the Wolf. Like, I mean, that's almost, that's enough to play it, I think.
Yep, I think...
And as you've stated many times, Dora, there are not very many good 5-drops, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like, this card is so fucking good. Like, just look.
I mean, remove the effect, and it's like, okay, add the effect, and you have a ridiculous card.
Yeah.
Because the effect is really strong.
Yeah. Like the effect, like wow. I don't even have words to describe how good this card is. Like, Hunter finally gets a legendary that is just straight up insanely good.
If you use it on the Infested Wolf, which is a relatively weak death rattle, relatively, right?
Yeah.
You get 8/7 worth of stats for 5 mana.
I think because of this card, I think you're also gonna play the. I think I'm gonna make a deck that's like a mid-range curvy hunter deck, where as 4-drops you play the wolf, and you play the neutral epic one that's like a 1/1 summon a 5/5.
What?
Oh, you play that.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna play this card. And I'm gonna play. Yeah. I'm gonna play that card, and I'm gonna play this card, and I'm gonna play the 10-drop that also summons all your death rattles.
Oh yeah, okay.
I think that might be good. Like as a finisher.
Okay. Soft, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like the more optimal hunter deck is just playing mid-range and then
mid-range tempo, and then there's some good targets on the auto include targets. I think so as well. I think that's better.
Yeah, I might curve it a bit. I'm like, it's gonna be mid-range tempo as well.
My concern with Insos in that deck is that, well, you play it and then you die, I mean, if you don't die, you win for sure. For sure, you win.
Yeah,
by
exactly.
then. But you don't really like if you get in soft off and you don't die, you win anyway. Even if you just like get a high main or a high main the wolf, it's enough, right?
Yep.
The thing is, you don't have any taunts you can resurrect within soft, and that's really what you want.
Yep.
Because sludge is gone.
But the thing is, if you're playing a really aggressive, like mid range / aggressive deck, then usually you don't take that much damage.
No, but you're not playing a very aggressive mid-range deck if you play a 1/1, like a 4-drop that doesn't do anything on the turn that it's played, and you play a 10-drop in the deck. I mean, yeah, I guess you could stop on like 2 high main.
Or you can still play
know.
Fiery Bat and stuff like that, just
Yeah,
to early get the tempo, and then later on you play the more greedy
Like
cards.
hybrid Death Rattle Hunter, maybe. We'll see. We'll see.
It seems
I didn't.
so bad, to be honest. It feels like you just splashed a 10-drop in that does nothing, except
What? It wins against control matchups, like completely
If you
wrecks
draw it.
control decks.
But you don't have any draw in the deck.
Well, I'm not like I didn't sit down and craft the deck. It's just like dots, but I like there might be draw. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, like, okay, looking at Princess Who Run, it's insane, right? And okay, the Ensoth deck. I mean, Ensoth, I'm so concerned that it doesn't have sludge anymore. That's the one card I'd really love to see with
Agreed.
it.
And it sucks, but what are you gonna
and
do?
I think the deck here is better just to make stable and have Princess Who Run hit targets that are naturally in the deck instead of trying to alter the deck too much to add more synergy, because I think it's actually enough. If you just get it off, it's ridiculous, no matter what you get it off on.
Yep.
And of course, it's better to get it off on the Twilight Summoner or whatever, the 1/1 that's 1 to 5/5. That would be absolutely ridiculous. But then you just gain so much value that's it's like almost unnecessary much value, right?
Yep.
To alter your deck, because you might draw the 1/1 and
No,
not
you're
have
right.
to
Like
run.
I'll like if you have like, so you have five or six Death Rattle minions that are good, and you just put this card in because it's a good 5-drop.
I mean, there are 4 that are super obvious: 2 wolves, 2 high mains, right?
Yeah. So maybe like one more, or like I'm not completely sold on what cards I'm gonna play yet, but like just put it as a 5-drop. Like there are no really good 5-drops anymore, and this is like really good. So yeah.
Yep.
Last class is Druid. So it gets a few really interesting cards actually. I think the first one is actually really good. I think as well. 2 mana and Mark of Shalaj. So give a minion +2/+2, and if it's a priest, draw a card. So it's kind of versatile. You can play it on a non-beast. Still got the +2/+2. Or if you play it on a beast, you can draw a card. Or if you play it on your opponent's beast, you can draw a card if you really need the card draw. Like just the possibility is not good, but...
Oh, yeah, I didn't think about that.
Yep.
And in a beast deck, this is basically better than Power Shield.
Yeah.
So it's insane.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
And Druid actually have surprising amount of beast cards.
Yeah,
so
good beasts as well.
I'm thinking, would this even be good just in a more typical Druid?
Not in the one that you made.
What?
The Druid list that you made.
Of course, it's not in Cthulhu, right? Yeah. Because you're just playing taunts and Cthulhu minions. But if you had some kind of mid-range where you have Raptor instead of Shade, and you have you still have your 5-drop that is also a beast, and the effect can be used without a beast. I don't know. It might be okay.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I think this card is really, really strong. I think maybe you could make Fandral Stackhelm Druid, where it's really strong, because you want to play. You probably want to play the 2/5.
Yeah,
the 3-drop, and you want a Druid of the Claw as well, which is a good target. And you're probably gonna play the 5/4 Druid that buffs your hero power. Not because it fits particularly well, but that's just a good 4-drop. So I mean, you have a lot of targets in that deck.
Yeah.
And even like just dropping on something else, if it fits the situation, I mean, you can just drop it on like a living root and kill your opponent's 2/3 minion. That is quite fine, even though you don't get the draw. It's really fine.
Yep, I agree. Right, let's move on. Fell Rage, 3 mana. Choose one. Give your hero +4 attack this turn, or gain 4 armor, or 8 armor. So I think this card is really good as well. This is just really versatile. You can, in worst case, you kill him like a 3-drop, your opponent's 3-drop, which is fine. Best case, you gain 8 armor against Freeze Mage, and they can't win.
So it's a auto include if you have some like greedy druid, right?
Yeah.
I don't think I would play it in mid range.
No. I'd play it like in control druid. I'd definitely play 2 of this card. Like just you lost law, right? You lost your previously your only heal. Law was your only healed for 5. Like this is even better healing. Of course you don't have the body that law provided, but like gaining 4 attack. Like worst case, you just trade it with a minion.
And that's quite fine.
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah, it's quite fine. I mean, this card, like, this is not a super shiny card. Like, it doesn't make the big plays, but it's just like it's consistent and it's normally we say okay, and okay is not good enough, but this is then this is not okay, then this is a good card, right?
Yeah, it's a good card.
It's not shiny, but it's consistent and it's good.
And this also works.
It's versatile. It's good. Yeah.
This also works with the last card that we're gonna look at, the Druid Legendary, that says choose one against both effects.
Oh yeah, it does. I guess.
It's sick with that card. The only thing I'm considering is if those 2 cards go into the same deck.
I think they do actually. Like I think they do.
Okay, because I feel like the legendary is more of a mid-range card, and this is more of a
but it's just
taunt ramp.
I get
control card.
We'll get to it when we get there.
But you can play this, like you can play this in mid-range, I think.
I wouldn't though, because it's not It's not that much better than just healing touch, and I would never touch healing touch in any mid-range deck.
I think you can play one. I'll play 1 in a mid-range deck. If there's a lot of like freeze mage decks or like face-ish decks, like if there's a lot of aggro or decks that try to burst you, I'd play 1. If not, then I wouldn't play it, I think.
The 3 mana 4 damage is not terrible. I mean, it's okay.
No,
and
but it's not good either.
Yeah, it's not good.
No, it's not. It can go face though, right?
Yeah, but if you play a curve, if you play a curve deck, you really need like good minions on.
Yeah.
But I would
rather have more free drops minions in a curve deck.
I think it's good enough that you could play 1 of them in a curve deck if the meta dictated that it would be good. Then like that's how good it is. Like I would even play the deck that didn't fit just so you have the possibility to gain the 8 armor when you need it. Yeah. Anything else?
Nope.
Let's move on to Dark Araka. Arakoa. Alright, 6 mana. 6 mana, 5/7. Taunt, Battle Cry, give you a Cthulhu +3/+3, wherever it is. And this card is really good in a Cthulhu deck.
Yep, I think this is actually the card that enables Druid to play Cthulhu.
Yep. Like, we talked about Cthulhu earlier in our last podcast as well. Where basically you want to stall until you can play the Cthulhu, and taunts are really valuable against early aggression. And this has pretty good stats for a 6-drop, and it has the taunt for free, and your Cthulhu gets +3/+3. I probably wouldn't play it in non-Cthulhu decks, but
it's close though.
It's close, yeah. Like if it was a 6/7. Then I would play it in even non-Cthulhu decks. But 5/7 might actually be good enough that you don't need the 6 attack.
5 is enough.
Yeah, to kill most things. Like 7 health is so good. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at Druid of the Claw, you usually just make it a 4/6, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You pay 1 mana for 1/1 additional.
Yeah.
And the one additional attack is actually that one extra attack is very relevant.
And the health is good as well.
Yeah.
Like the health, the 1 more health means that, like if you have a 4 damage minion, which is really common, like it leaves your minion with 3 health left. Like that's extremely hard to deal with.
I feel like this is the first Kitsune card that I consider playing outside of a Kitsune deck. It's the first one.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think.
Oh well, no. The neutral panda.
No, it's
Deal
not
2 damage.
Yeah, the panda I could
I could see
or
it.
something. Yeah.
Like the effect is really good. Like 2 damage, it's really good against early, and the body is like decent to have to spend mana on it somehow.
Yeah, I think.
Even if it's hero power, like it's really good against if the meta is aggro heavy. I'd play.
Yeah,
the panda.
yeah, that is true.
It's like a 3 mana keeper, right? Sort of.
Yeah, with 1 less health and
but 1
not
less
being
mana.
silent. But yeah,
Less
you're
mana.
kind of true. We all agree keeper's shit now. No, we didn't maybe. But keeper's
I
pretty
didn't,
bad.
but
so.
yeah.
You didn't, yeah. Keeper's pretty bad at least.
Yeah, it's a lot worse for sure.
Yeah, but that also
Especially when we see the panda and realize what they made instead, right?
Yep.
But yeah, this card at least is really, really strong. It's bonkers in Cthulhu.
Yep. Right. Moving on to the rest. First one, Adel Grizzly, 3 mana 2/2 beasts. After you summon a minion, give it +1/+1, and this card is garbage. Yeah.
I agree. Like, how do you even summon minions?
How do you even this card?
So you play this and you play Violet Teacher and then you play 3 spells, and how do you do that?
Did you actually just say how do you even summon minions?
Yeah, how do you even summon minions? Like how?
Take that out of context.
Yeah, I think it was the same concern that we spoke of when we considered the.
It's the bad version of the Paladin guy.
Yeah,
right?
but
They gave divine
mean,
shields.
This is a good guy of the neutral one that kills it that buffs them +1/+1 as a death rattle. Spawn of and stuff. Something.
Yeah, that's true.
I think this is the better version of that.
Yeah.
And Druid was the only card, only class like Egg Druid, which there are no Eggs anymore, but that was the one class I could see Spawn of Insults working in. And this is slightly this is better, but it's not good still.
Yeah, and even in Beast Druid, like the beasts don't really work like that. Like they're just like
they don't spam minions.
Yeah. Right.
Like, everything is just gone. Echoing Noose is gone. Haunted Creeper's gone.
Yeah.
Both the eggs are gone.
Like it doesn't even work in wild. This card. It's so slow.
It's play this, and then on the next turn you coin Force of Nature, and then we are like talking.
If it was a 3/3, I'm not even sure I would play it. That's how
then
I think
at
it
least
is.
like
then
then
would
at least
consider.
it's threatening. Like then you can play it and it can survive, and you can dump minions and it'll be good.
Maybe it should have been like a
2/2 is just
2/4.
garbage.
Maybe it should have been like a 2/4. That would be cool.
I think that might have been crazy though.
Yeah, maybe.
Because then it's quite likely that you at least get the effect off once.
Yeah, exactly. But like that's it's a class card, right? It's not a neutral card, so it has to be.
But they could have made it 2/3 for sure.
Yeah.
3/3, I'd be scared that it might be a bit crazy. Like
I'm not even.
I'm not sure, but I mean it. If it had a total of 6 stats, I feel like it could go crazy.
Right. Move on.
Let's do it.
Mire Keeper. The stream is lagging. It's really weird. I think it's Twitch.
Damn.
Well, earlier it was on on Skype for sure.
Yeah, but I'm not dropping any frames.
No, it hasn't bugged for me though. But it has run flawlessly. For me.
I have tried that before. Like you're not dropping frames, but it's lagging, and how do you find out what's wrong?
Yeah, looks fine now. Yeah, looks fine as well here.
Yeah.
Alright, let's move on. So, Mire Keeper, 4 mana 3/3, choose one. Summon a 2/2 slime or gain an empty mana crystal. And I think this card is really good as well.
Yep, it is.
The only problem is that you don't. Like, do you need to skip the 5 mana slot? Like, you don't have that many 6 drops. And
No. But
well, you have 5/5 worth.
If you innovate it, if you innovate it
attack.
against, okay, basically, it's versatile, right? It's like Keeper, where most of the time, like the previous Keeper, where most of the time maybe you get the 2 damage effect, but you also can silence. And I feel like this is sort of the same, where against a control deck, if you're playing against a control deck and you know it's a control deck, you innovate out this card, you can gain the mana crystal because it's more useful, perhaps. Or if you... And we're back. Welcome back, guys. Sorry for that. Yeah, it seems like the upload rate is going crazy right now. I put it to maximum at something, but yeah, it doesn't really work. Say if it's completely terrible, then we might do another restart or something. But yeah, for now, seems like it's working. And back to my keeper.
Keeper.
Let me hear your thoughts.
I think actually innovating it out is insane. Like, it's another option of having wild growth, right? So.
Yeah, it is.
Exactly. That's like the versatility. Like I'm not sure I would ever.
It's insane.
When you played on turn 4, I don't think I would almost ever gain the mana crystal. Like
I think I would.
I think you
if you're playing Dark Arakoa. Yeah.
If you're playing a ramp deck or I guess Dark Arakoa.
But you don't have to. You can do both. That's the thing. That makes it so insane.
Yeah, true.
This card wouldn't be nearly as insane if it was only a mana crystal. It would still maybe find spots in like heavy ramp, but the fact that you can play it just as a tempo, if you don't need the mana crystal, it's insane. Like 5 mana, 4/4. Other way around, 4 mana, 5/5. Yeah, it's insane.
Yep. Oh no. Like the slime only effect, and I wouldn't play it.
No, but the fact that it has two.
Yeah, it has two good enough
separate effects that are very different, and both are good. Like both are good.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
Right, should we move on?
Yeah.
So, Calaxy Amber Viewer, 4 mana, Weaver, not Viewer, Weaver. 4 mana, 4/5. Battlecry. If your Tune has at least 10 attack, gain +5 health. So it gains 10 health. If you have 10 attack on your Tune. And probably most of the time you're not gonna have that by turn 4, unless you have the 2-drop into the Panda. And then play this.
Then I always think it starts on 5. But yeah, that would be enough.
Yeah, that would be enough.
So
or like
usually,
Panda into Panda.
Like even in the situation that this is always a Yeti on turn 4, I still think it's really good because it's a Yeti that if you play it on turn 8, it's a Twilight Dragon with full health, right?
Yep. I really like this card.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a versatile. Yeah, like you said, it's a versatile Yeti that if you play it later, it gets better. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes you might even get it off on 4 as a 4/10.
Yeah, there's a chance.
There's a chance you just win the game.
Coin the 3/4 that buffs it once, and if you coin that one on turn 2, then it's not gonna die.
You don't even have to coin anything. Like you can play the 2-drop and then play the 3-drop.
I mean, but the 2-drop is worse. I'm not sure I'd play. Yeah, I mean, I'd rather coin the 3/4 and then play like a Panda on 3. But you don't have. I mean, you just have. The odds if you play the 3/4 with a coin on 2 is that you're gonna get the effect twice, and then you just need one of the others, and you're still gonna have enough for Clap.
Yeah, it's quite possible. But you have to play a 2-drop in that case, and 2-drops could be okay. It's not bad. It's just not broken. Right, moving on. Forbidden Ancients. So when I first saw this card, I was like, wow, this card is insane. Holy shit. And then I saw, oh wait, it costs 1 mana. As opposed to all the other Forbidden cards randomly. Yeah. So the fact that it costs 1 mana makes this card terrible. If it didn't cost 1 mana, it'd be insane.
Yeah, I guess the point is that otherwise they would have had to make it a 0 mana 0/0.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Because it's the only minion, right? And that didn't really make sense.
Yeah.
So therefore they just started on 1 with the 1/1.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's terrible. Like you can make an understated minion on every mana, but like it's
the priest one is just
if
so much better.
Then it would be nice. Yeah, the priest one is way better because on turn 8, instead of getting a 8/8 vanilla, you're getting Ragnaros or a 7/7 with Divine Shield.
The 8/8 is the worst case scenario.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Like when we are disappointed about a rain and 2 drop, a 2/2 is a disappointment, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Oh well, this card is bad. Move on,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, really.
Move on to another extremely good. No.
Oh, they made another one in the series.
Yeah, seven mana Whispers of the old Wisps of the old gods. Holy shit! So
What a pun.
Yeah.
Oh.
They are Blizzard is so funny. Mima, hey. Choose one, summon 7/1/1 Wisps, or give your minions +2/+2, and yeah, don't see.
Should basically have costed 5 or 6 mana.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
just
it's terrible.
really bad.
So bad for the cost.
Yeah, it's so bad.
Play Ancient of War instead.
Disenchant instantly.
Yeah, even if you play a super
need
aggressive deck, like you just
Then it's just too late. I mean,
yeah,
7 mana.
it's so late. Yeah, can't even Devil's Advocate this card.
Nope.
Right, and last card finally. So yeah, it's a Fenril Stackhelm. Fenril Stackhelm. 4 mana, 3/5. Your choose one cards have both effects combined. This card is really good.
Yeah, but it's not insane.
Yeah, it's
not
true.
insane. I agree.
As you might think it is when you look at it, because like unlike something like Bran, getting both choose ones is not as good as getting one of them 2 times.
Yeah.
Because you're usually choosing like one that is good and the other is.
Yeah.
And battle cries are generally,
Yeah,
they are more impactful most of the time.
Yeah.
And
But the good thing is it's almost Yeti stats.
I like
it's
3/5.
valid Yeti stats.
I like 3/5 on 4 better than I like 2/4 on 3 at least.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I think this card is gonna see play. Definitely gonna see play in decks, but it's not like an auto include. And also one of the reasons why I think this card lost a bit of power is because of the nerfs. Like if you still had Ancient of Lore, if you still had,
true.
if you still had Keeper full power, like
Yeah, Keeper would be really good with this.
I mean,
it's Earth Shock buffed off.
it's still good with Druid of the Claw. Like
it works with Wrath as well.
yeah,
right?
Wrath as well. Yeah,
Does it just deal 4 damage and you draw 1 then?
yeah.
I guess so.
Exactly.
Or can you split them?
No, at the same target. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I guess like they
deal
don't have a
4.
mechanic in the game where you target twice, so I guess it's just the same target.
Yeah, it's the same target, but that's still fine. Like 4 damage, draw a card.
Yeah, it's quite
Really good.
fine.
Yeah, it's almost like this card is actually like in general. I feel like this card is better on the spells than it is like even on the 5 mana AoE spell. Like you do like a
Yeah, that one
buffed
is
swipe,
ridiculous as well.
do a buffed
Stop
swipe.
all.
Yeah,
Yeah, true. I forgot about Wrath actually. Wrath makes a big difference, I think, because a lot of the minions doesn't really matter too much. Like getting a 4/6 taunt with charge, yeah, it's cool, but
even
The charge is not that
the
important.
in the
Like,
9
it's
mana
good.
legendary, the 9 mana legendary is really good as well. Get 2 4/4/3
oh yeah, true.
And
I'm-
buff.
and
Oh,
buff
yeah,
itself.
shit.
Yeah,
If that buff, it spawns them first. Oh,
I
my
would assume
goodness.
so. Else it would be stupid.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess it would.
They would fix that. Like
Yeah,
Yeah.
they should.
They should
those are just
basically make
stupid.
the order be in our favor every time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like for example, Keeper should silence first.
Yeah. And they get a 10 mana.
I mean-
10/10/3 guys. Uproot and taunt. The tree is finally alive.
Yeah. I mean, I think actually
that
the Wrath
one
is a
first.
really good
Yeah.
point because that makes this card a really, really strong 6-turn play with this and Wrath or with Innovate, right? That's
Yeah.
a ridiculous play.
No, this like
You play this on 4, Innovate, kill something, and draw a card. It's a really strong play.
the only Druid deck I would not play this card. I shouldn't say that.
Cthulhu?
Okay, I won't
Probably
play it in Cthulhu. I don't think it has room in Cthulhu decks, but in like just a mid-range Druid, I think this card is really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah,
I think you can make this and with some beast energy and the mark of the beast thing.
it's good with the free drop as well. Getting
Yeah,
a
the
5/5.
3-drop is really
Yeah.
sick. 5/5. I mean, this on 4, Druid of the Claw on 5, and 2 of the 3-drops.
Yeah, you can also
six.
what you're talking about, beast. The 2 mana spell that summons a beast. It summons a beast and buffs all your
Oh,
minions.
yeah, that is true. I'm not sure I'd play that though.
Well, I would play it in beast
you
Druid.
could. I mean, the problem with that card is that
It's only
That
good
is
without
so
a teacher.
The problem is that it is far. That's not a card you would play at all if you didn't have Fandral, right?
Oh
I mean,
well, I like okay. Maybe there's so many good beasts now that it's,
it's
insignificant.
A beast.
It's a beast. Yeah, and it's versatile. It's not a bad card.
I mean, I think if Fandral didn't exist, I'd be closer to playing the 3-drop than I'd be to play Power of the Wild.
Yeah.
Raptor. And therefore, I think if Fandral is played, I think the 3-drop will enter the deck faster than Power of the Wild. But I mean, playing Power of the Wild is sick if you get both effects, and it initially it instantly buffs the minion it played itself. Then you have some sick value there. And it's a beast for the buff.
It buffs your Fandral.
Really
yeah, it buffs your Fandral.
Yeah, it buffs Fandral as well.
That's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It's a
really
nice
good.
card.
It's
like
it
the
most
art.
actually. Yeah, most. On the spells, that are like choose one, then you basically get to use a whole new card.
Yeah. Yeah, that is true because
just
on the
play
minion,
the card twice. Yeah, on the minion you get the body.
But on the spells,
and the spells you basically gain a new card for free, and you play it as well.
Yeah.
That's pretty sick. So yeah, it's better on spells, as I said.
Yeah.
And I also really like the artwork. That guy looks so cool.
Let's go, Fender Stackhelm into Nourish.
Oh, yeah, Nourish.
The golden value if you have the beasts that transforms, because they get new artwork for the combined effects.
Oh, that would be so cool as well. Holy shit, this card has so much potential. Coolness.
It's really cool, yeah.
Raven Idol is good as well. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's actually just a draw 2 cards.
Yeah.
Kinda. If double all the spells, man. I didn't think about the spells.
The spells are ridiculous.
The spells makes a big difference. Whoa.
Oh, I wanna try this out.
then you play the deck and you never draw Fandral and you're like feels bad.
Yeah, I mean Fandral, and you can do idle, then get a minion and another idle, and you just keep going.
No.
No.
Oh, the dream.
No, you get actually. Or idle and you get another Fandral. You can have 2 Fandrals.
Yeah, but that doesn't help. Oh yeah, I mean it helps
for more consistency.
when your Fandral dies.
Exactly.
But it's like Brand that it doesn't help you getting more multiples.
Yep. All right. Think that was actually that. Finally, 144 cards. Holy shit, that was
131 or something, and we had the nerfs in there.
Oh yeah. That was pretty. Holy shit, that took a while. I think it was like 5 hours or something, 5-6 maybe.
Yes.
Yeah. So, what do you guys? Okay, just like to finish it off. Let me hear your thoughts generally about all the new cards, like the new expansion. Do you like it? Do you like? Is it better than the previous expansions? What do you think?
I think everyone is happy that that GPG especially is gone. I liked a lot of the cards from Nextramas. Once Undertaker was gone, it was quite a nice expansion, but there was a lot of annoying things in GPG. I think here we see I think they have actually this time, we have always whined about it, and I think this time they actually succeeded in making an expansion that slowed down the game, because they put so much healing in it. And like,
I actually disagree.
You disagree?
Yeah, the only reason I think the meta match slow down is because we get rid of Nax and GPG.
Yeah,
I don't think
that too, right?
Helps at all.
Because you're removing. But I mean, they did try with the new cards as well to promote slower cards more so than ridiculous early cards. Like the 2 that springs to mind is the Paladin 2-1 and the Hunter 2-1 that promotes really aggressive decks. But there's been a lot of healing and taunts and stuff. So I like that, and I think they maybe went a bit overboard on Shaman and made it.
Yeah.
Like I
we'll
feel
see.
like
Well,
this
like
was
it's
like
last time.
Shaman has always been underpowered. We tried giving them a 6 health 4-drop that could be potentially a 7/6. It didn't work. fuck it, we give them a 7/7 for 4 mana. Now they better make it work, and a shit ton of other crazy cards. So it's like, I think Shaman is gonna be beyond insane. Like, they have so many crazy cards, but they are not they're not super aggressive. So
yeah. Like the only thing I'm gonna say is like I'm so concerned about Shaman, because either it's going to be batshit crazy or else it's gonna be the same story all over again.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Like the last time we talked about Shaman, like last expansion, we were like, Shaman gets so many good cards. Like it's better.
They
be
did
viable.
Actually.
Yeah.
Those
but
cards
not in that way.
Right?
Yeah, the last expansion.
Yeah, Totem Golem, you mean?
Yeah, Totem Golem and those, like, it was like, oh, so many good cards. Like, oh, Shaman better be good now, but it still wasn't good. But I think the combination of 2 times getting so many good cards might be what pushes it over the limit.
The difference is that the new cards they get now is so tempo oriented, and that's what Shaman needs. They need to be on the board, right? So like the things from below and the flame wreathed faceless is just so strong, and I believe that there's only gonna be one Shaman, and that's semi-aggressive mid-range. Like, that's the only thing that will work.
I love Hella Steel though.
But I don't think it will work.
Yeah, it might not.
Sadly.
Any thoughts on other classes? Then what do you think will be the other top decks? Do you think like current decks that will survive?
Priest Mage,
Face Shaman. I guess Shaman
Face
again.
Shaman. Yeah.
I think actually the Temple Warrior I've been playing currently could do quite well.
It's gonna change, but it's gonna be insane.
Yeah, you lose Sludge, which is a big deal.
No, not Sludge. Yeah, they lose Sludge. Deathbrite is really, like, it's a giant hit. Yeah. That card was so good.
I think a lot
I think you can alter it a bit, and I think that deck will still be good.
It'll still survive.
Then I think you will see Cthulhu Druid and Cthulhu Warrior being good.
Cthulhu Warrior, Priest, and maybe Rogue. Like, okay, I'm not. Maybe I'm just gonna make Rogue, but
yeah, fair enough. I don't believe in Rogue though. But I think Priest, Warrior, and Druid.
Yeah, those are the obvious good ones.
I don't believe in the power. Like, I don't believe in the power level of Rogue either. But like, they actually got some interesting card that I want to build decks around.
Yeah,
they do as well.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I think non-Cthulhu control Priest is going to be quite okay as well.
Yeah. Like, it might turn out that all Cthulhu cards just doesn't work, but I don't believe that's going to happen.
Yeah, I think I agree. I think it's quite okay.
I feel like the Cthulhu cards are just good enough in general. Like the
only thing I'm a little bit disappointed about is that all the neutral minions are super boring. Like, I think they did a better job on class-specific cards, but oh my lord, is the neutral cards boring?
Yeah, they are, and there are so few. I mean, there are like 3, and it's like, okay, we play those 3 every time. There's a 2-drop, the 3-drop, and the Panda, right?
Oh yeah, I'm not talking Cthulhu either.
Oh,
I'm talking all neutral cards are just really boring. Like, I'm sitting here and scrolling through, and there's just nothing interesting at all. Like, maybe Twilight Summoner because it's the new egg.
Yeah, I see a point, but I mean, I was really okay. You have a point for sure. But I think actually there are enough. I used to say that the most impact, like the highest impact on the meta game, would be the fact that there would be nerfs and that GVG and Nax was gone, and I still think that is true. But I actually think that the new cards will have quite an impact as well. Partly, of course, because of the removal of the other cards, but I think we will see a lot of them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Any thoughts on other good decks? Do you think Rogue will have anything?
I think I definitely think there's going to be a good Rogue. I'm like, I love the class so much. Maybe, like, I'm really like the cartoon deck I'm most hyped about is actually the Rogue deck because it looks so fun to play.
It has potential for so much.
Yeah.
It's the most flashy one, but I think
the most consistent one is definitely the Warrior. I think.
The Cthulhu Warrior. I think Cthulhu Warrior will be really. I'm unsure how insane Druid will be, to be honest, because they have ramp and they have the insane 6-drop. I think that might be crazy as well.
Yeah.
The 4-drop is ridiculous as well.
Like, okay, Yeah, the reason why I really like Cthulhu actually is because you can use it in a lot of different ways. Like you can use it for tempo, you can use it for finisher, you can use it for just like a big guy, sort of that buffs your other minions. So there's like 3 or 4 or 5 different ways you can actually use or make a Cthulhu deck, which I think is really cool. And I think all of the like Cthulhu rogue for me is like you use Cthulhu as your finisher. Cthulhu Druid is like it's like just a big guy like at the end of the stick where you use it like to buff your other minions, and Cthulhu Warrior is like tempo-ish, clear the board.
I don't think so. I think Cthulhu Warrior is control,
actually,
like hardcore control.
Yeah, but hardcore, like for me Cthulhu Warrior is the same as Elise Warrior. With Cthulhu cards.
Yeah, then tempo was just the wrong word.
Same priest actually.
Yeah, same priest.
Like you played Doom Guy that shuffled him maybe back in or something.
Exactly. I'm
on that shot, I'm not sure if it's too slow, but yeah, whatever. I think it will be along those lines at least.
Currently, I'm mostly hyped about Cthulhu decks, but that
is there any classes we haven't like? What about Warlock? What do they do now? But I guess both Reno and
Warlock
Sue
is
like,
good.
No, Sue is kind of dead, I guess.
Reno gets the ogre.
Well, Reno is quite fine because they don't really lose that much. They lose like BTH gets more expensive and they lose. Oh, I guess they lose Healbot and Sludge. I mean they lose, but Reno can be played for sure.
I feel like
new Reno
Warlock and Mage are the classes that would change the least.
Yeah.
Warlock only got Renounced Darkness that can spawn a new deck. Like everything else is just either whatever exists already. And Mage is the same. Like they just play tempo and put in change maybe 2 cards or something.
Yeah.
But I mean, Warlock was. I mean, my personal opinion is that currently Warlock is like for quite a while now. Warlock has been the strongest class because they have. Like my claim is that Sue has been the strongest deck for quite a while, and Reno is definitely up there as well. But okay, I'll take that as my claim, right? That Sue is the best, but we can't really argue that it's up amongst the best, and Reno is for sure as well. So it's just like it has 2 absolute top tier decks. And maybe that will stop now because they didn't actually get that much. It's not an obvious Cthulhu deck, and
Sue lost a lot. Sue lost
a whole lot, and they didn't really get like too many class cards. And as Michael just said,
I think it's gonna be a challenge.
Aren't that interesting.
I think it's gonna be a challenge for you to make a Zoo deck. That's good.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a challenge for me as well to make it good. So that's a problem because I'll have to, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're forced to.
But yeah, like I can't count out the Warlock. Mage. Okay, I need to look at all the classes, Hearthstone classes, because I forget one. All right, so
what do you guys feel about
Hunter?
just Handlock in general?
Oh yeah, but I guess we kinda covered Hunter when we went over the princess, right?
So first off, Druid. Let's take it from the start. So Druid, I think Druid is gonna be quite good.
Cthulhu and some mid-range thing.
I think that might work. Then
I don't know. I think people were talking about like, oh, Druid is gonna be full like aggro, like full face, with Savage Run, no force. I felt like people spoke of that when we saw some of the first cards. Like when we saw the nerfs, I think people were like, it's gonna be an aggro deck now. But yeah, I don't really see that deck. Like the mid-range Beast thing and the Cthulhu as 2 decks, I think will be.
I think Beast will be more aggro than you think.
Yep.
They have a 3/2 stealth that's all about aggro. The Mounted Raptor is all about aggro. The 5/4 that buffs your hero power is all about aggro. And Mark of Shasharash is like you refill your hand so you can keep being aggro.
Okay. Yeah, maybe it will. Well, that might be the aggro deck that they're looking for. But that's
with Savage Raw as
aggro
well.
in the way that
It's not face. It's like curvy aggro.
The face
Which
Druid
probably
was
one Savage Raw.
Yeah, the Fell Reaver Druid. It's not as aggressive as that was, but
No.
yeah, okay. I can see the Tempo Druid.
I think
it being.
I think the class is actually going to be the worst one. Currently, like, I think it's Paladin.
Paladin, super greedy heal Paladin.
I think it's gonna be very polarized. It's gonna be either really, really greedy or it's gonna be super aggro.
Yeah. Like
With
the only
either you play Light
You
Lord
cannot play
and
mid-range
Tyrion, or you play nothing above. Like
Yeah,
4
exactly.
or 5.
like I think like looking at the classes, like Paladin is the only deck that I'm not that hyped about. I think if it's gonna work, I'm more towards the super aggro like 1-drops style. I think that might in itself work because Divine Favor is gonna get much better because people are gonna play more control. So
Yeah, and also the new aggro things they got are okay. Like
Yeah.
Selfless Hero and Steward Darkshire, like could be pretty good.
Yeah. So Paladin or maybe Hunter if the decks that I'm thinking about don't work, which I'm not sure about.
Hunter. It feels
I
like
think the
mid-range and
mid-range-
aggro is just slightly worse than they are now. So,
Yeah, I don't
but like
think that-
mid-range has potential to be insane. I think.
Yeah, I
Infested
think
Wolf and
the curved beast druid. No, the curved beast hunter that curves to the 3 animal companions.
Yeah,
I
might be
think
good.
that deck could be really, really crazy.
No, we'll see.
Just because I mean they lost Boom, but so did everyone else, right? And that was like, I mean I feel like that one actually their beast it rivals Boom on power level. That's how insane I think it is.
Yeah, Call of the Wild.
Call of the Wild, yeah.
That's 1 mana more.
I agree.
It's 1 mana more. I know.
But
think
I
if it
also
was-
think it's stronger actually.
Yeah. So do I. I think it's really, really crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, the question is that can we make a Hunter deck that curves well and still doesn't die?
We have the
before it-
technology. We have the technology. We can make it.
Do we though? That is the question. I mean, I think that deck could be crazy as Hunter.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it as well. See if it works. Might be good. Might be.
But it's not one of those exciting decks because it doesn't
No.
change that
No,
much.
it's very similar to something we've already
Yeah.
had.
So, like, for the first week or two, I think it's going to be Cthulhu everywhere and weird, wonky rogue decks and maybe
Yeah.
mid-range warrior and stuff like that.
So I think actually, if you want to climb the ladder, like like if you're playing in Legend, maybe not. The problem is in Legend, if you're high in Legend, people will try hard, so they won't play funky decks. But I think if you're just like from rank 5 and trying to
Aggro
get
Druid.
Legend, I think this is a good time. If you just take a serious
Or
deck,
aggro Paladin.
yeah, if you just take like a deck you know is good, say. Like Freeze Mage doesn't lose anything really. You
Yeah,
will
but it's
do
too
well
slow.
because there's a lot
Too
of
slow to
people
climb.
who's just try. Yeah, okay, that's the bad. But my point is that there are a lot of people that are gonna try new things that are not confident with, and they are gonna test things. So people, yeah,
I would be
like they
afraid
might
of-
have less potent decks.
I would be afraid of Freeze Mage just running into Cthulhu Priest and Warrior.
Yeah, that might. But say another deck that Face Shaman then. Face Shaman is a better example, right?
yeah,
Because it almost loses nothing, and it is already a good deck, and it can just like, you might run into like people trying to play, say for instance Cthulhu Rogue, and they just made it slightly too greedy, and you're just gonna walk over them. It's just gonna be a free win if they made it too greedy and they draw something not too ridiculous.
Yep. Right. I think that was that.
Yeah.
All right. So, to finish off this 6-hour podcast, if you enjoyed looking at our pretty faces, you can of course follow us on Twitter as we have below our names or below our faces. There's a Twitter handle. All of us use Twitter. Some of us more than others.
Sorry.
Looking at you, Monk Business, but
Yeah.
apart from
You
that,
can follow us on
YouTube.
Twitch as well.
Yeah, Twitch.
Dora here, and I'm on I'm on the same tag, Twitch
Yep.
TV/Eurudra.
Yeah,
So,
and Mug Business as well. Although some of us use Twitch more than others. Again, looking at a particular person. But yeah, and we also have a great YouTube channel that you should definitely check out. If you like us, the YouTube is probably the best place. The YouTubes, that is where we put all our content.
Of this will be there as well.
Yes. The YouTube is youtube.com/HearthBreakers.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely check that out. Finishing words, Monk, Rudra.
It's actually been a pleasure. A bit rough in the voice now, but it's actually been really interesting to get a good look of all the cards, and I hope
it's fun.
I hope you guys enjoyed it. That's why we did it, right? To share our thoughts with you guys. So.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, boys, smile and wave. Smile and wave.